Yeah, we did it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. How am I... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, we didn't turn the light on.
Oh, that's true. Okay. I was peaking the microphone with everything I was saying, and I still think I'm doing it, so I'm going to try to lower it a little. If our voices sound low, please let us know, but it's like everything I'm doing is peaking the mic. Hi!
Oh, maybe I hit something accidentally when I tried to use Zoom.
Whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Hi. Did I say the welcome to the stream thing? Did I do that? Welcome to the stream, and a very happy Magic Monday, one and all.
Yes. Hopefully you all had a good weekend.
Yeah, if you were able to get out to a pre-release, let us know. If you were not, let us know. Just let us know how your weekend was in general. I guess we can do our intro really quickly. So for those of you who may be new, whether you're watching live or on the VOD, what's going on, everybody? This is Joe.
And Amy.
We are Geek for All, and we are here tonight to continue our set review for Murders at Karlov Manor. That does not mean that we will not do any arena. Right, we absolutely can still do that. We'll basically kind of go with the flow of the night and see how it goes. So, yeah.
Okay. Nickel is here saying hello. Hello, Nickel. Nice to see you back.
Happy Magic Monday.
And Erica is here saying hi, friends.
Hi, Erica.
Hello.
Have you gotten your kits yet that you mentioned you and your brother might get, or not yet? It was that... kind of a little bit after the fact. I obviously had the benefit of playing in some pre-releases this weekend. Hopefully you were able to see the videos that we put up. Do you have enough space? I feel like I'm like... hopefully you were able to see the videos that we put up of me opening 4 different kits on Friday night, and then looking around the store and seeing what other people were opening and stuff as well. So that was a really cool experience. It means that I've seen many of these cards, not all, but many of them. So I'll be able to either go through them quickly and like saying, oh, I never saw this and I wouldn't play it, or, kind of talking a little bit more about what I think of them.
Erica says we have not yet, which is good because I have been playing so much Persona 3 Reloaded, I legitimately forgot to eat yesterday.
Well, congrats, but also, maybe don't. Not maybe don't play, but maybe don't forget to eat.
Feed on the energy the game gives you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you must have hit the gain or something. I'll have to fix it after the stream. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Is it too loud, guys? Are you hearing, like, super loud, super quiet, or is it pretty much just the same?
Because before I start going in depth into these characters and stuff, or these cards and stuff, I want to make sure that we're not too crazy here.
Yeah, it keeps showing that the microphone is peaking. So, Marcus is here saying sup.
What is up, Marcus? Happy Magic Monday.
How is the sound, guys? Please let us know.
Yeah, obviously you're not supposed to be hearing anything but us and background noise, like there's no music or anything. But, just to make sure, if we're blowing out your eardrums and stuff, let us know. And I'll try to fix it a little bit more.
About the challenge, what colors should I play?
And like any two colors or any colors, because then, I mean, Amy's here. I'd say play Gruul or something to that effect.
James Turpin is here saying, yellow, everyone. Haven't played a pre-release in a long time. How was it?
Hello, James. Welcome to the stream.
Yes.
I enjoyed the pre-release. I feel like the sealed format for this set is not great. It's very slow. There's not really a consistent aggressive deck. And so most of our games in the entire store went to time. So people were kind of drawing left and right, so it was kind of hard to get somebody to like be a definitive winner. Also, I mean, pre-release is a time where newer players might be coming, and or people that just are really, really unfamiliar with the cards, and so they have to sit and read each individual card. I don't blame anybody for this. I have always said I think pre-release makes the most sense for newer players. You're kind of on a bit more of an even playing field at that point, but the issue is with the time constraints. It kind of messes up people's records, and so if you wanted to like get a little bit more value out of your time this weekend, especially combined with the fact that pre-release kits are more expensive now because they're full of play boosters, so maybe you wanted to get a little bit more prize because you paid a little bit more money. It's a little bit harder to have done that because all the games were going to time, a lot of people were drawing, and you can't rush you shouldn't rush your opponent if they're trying to like read the cards, figure out what to do, etc. And even like a slower play style is not something that, you know, especially for pre-release. Like internally, I might be screaming, saying, "Oh my God, please hurry up!" But I'm not going to be like telling my opponent to please hurry up. It's pre-release, you know what I mean? So, I think there were moments that were a lot more tight than they needed to be because of the fact that the format is very slow and people taking their time to think and stuff. It really makes games go to time or rounds go to time. In fact, the event I played in yesterday, 2 of the 3 rounds I won in turns on game 2. So like, we didn't even get to a game 3. We only played 2 games, and we went to time in the second game, and I was still able to pull out the win in turns on game 2.
Wow.
There was no reason for it to be that tight and hectic, and so it was very frustrating in that regard. But overall, I got to play a new set. I got to see a bunch of cool people, hang out. Excuse me. And so I enjoyed my pre-release for that reason.
That's good. Erica says she can definitely hear you peaking the mic by just talking normally. Your sensitivity might be cranked up.
Yeah, like I said, if you were touching the mic, you
wasn't.
messed with the game. Okay. Then I'm not so sure. I can lower it to here. I'm still peaking it, and I lowered it drastically. I worked so hard on this. Like I said, I'll have to fix it sometime when I'm not on stream. Sorry, everybody.
I can turn down the gain on this just for the sake of making this stream better, but
yeah, just put it to the middle, the top. Yeah, we'll try that. Okay, that should be a little bit better. If we're too quiet, let us know. I know that's in the opposite direction, but let us know nonetheless. I'm going to start, but please feel free to keep letting us know in chat how your pre-release experience was, what you think of the set so far, etc., if that is something that you can share. And otherwise, as we talk about cards, let us know about that. And then, as always, if you want to let us know about you, please feel free to do that.
Nah.
So we're going to start where we left off last time. Last time, we finished by doing Conspiracy Unraveler and Coveted Falcon, just to finish off that row. And so now we are up to Crime Stopper Sprite.
Okay, so Erica says, much better, and you don't seem to be peaking anymore.
Thank you, Erica. Greatly appreciate that help.
Thank you, and you guys please leave in chat how your weekends / pre-releases were.
Correct. So Crime Stopper Sprite is 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flying fairy detective. And as an additional cost to cast it, you can collect evidence 6. As a reminder to collect evidence, you exile cards with total mana value 6 or greater from your graveyard. And then when this enters the battlefield, you tap target creature. So you just do that. If evidence was collected, you also put a stun counter on it. So tap it and then stun it. And then if it was already tapped and you collect evidence 6, you can stun something that that was already tapped. And then, obviously if there's nothing to tap, you still could play this flyer because it's a 3-mana 2/2 flyer, which is not bad. The other point, this is a detective. So if you have a deck that cares about detectives, this is a very good card for that. Flyers is great. So
anytime I hear the name of this card, I just think of a can of Sprite soda.
Okay.
That you drink to stop crime.
Okay.
It is you drinking soda prevents crime from ever happening. James Turpin says, thank you for the insight. I'm usually my turns. I think it's supposed to be I usually like my turns to last no longer than 4 minutes. That's good, though you got to see new people and played the new set as well. There a bunch of cards for Commander.
Sure, yeah.
There are... Erica says... Winddrake can Frostlinks...
That can.
Oh, Winddrake that can Frostlinks something is entirely fine by me.
Yeah, I played against somebody who had 3 of these in a detective deck with the case up here. Case of the... case of the Pilfered Proof. So whenever a detective enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So they just tapped 3 mana and made a 3/3 flyer. And they tapped something down and they could stun it if they wanted. And it's a detective, so all the detective synergies in general. Yeah, it was really, really busted. But like Erica said, at its baseline, it's still just a 3-mana 2/2 flyer that taps something. So really, really good. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and it's a fairy.
Yes.
And Erica likes fairies.
That's right.
And it's a detective, which is just awesome.
Well, and the detectives are very relevant for this set.
Right.
And the detective deck is definitely a thing. I used it at least once, if not twice, and it works really well. There's a lot of random cards that are blank detective. So, really, really cool. Next is Cryptic Coat. This was a weird one. I played a guy who was... It was a very loose game of Magic that I played against this guy, but he had a Cryptic Coat, and it was very interesting because he had a lot of mana, so he just kept recurring this card over and over again. So 2 and a blue for an artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, cloak the top card of your library, and then attach Cryptic Coat to it. So to cloak a card, you put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. So you basically play your top card as a disguise card. You turn it face up at any time for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So if you get a land off the top, it's just going to be a 2/2 creature forever. That's it. But if it's a creature, you can at any time flip it up and get that benefit. And then with a coat attached to it, because it's an equipment, equipped creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. So when you cloak your top card, it will be a 3/2 Ward 2 that can't be blocked. At any time, you can tap 1 and a blue and return Cryptic Coat to its owner's hand, which will still leave the 2/2 creature on the battlefield. And you can replay the Cryptic Coat to cloak again off the top of your library and kind of keep doing that over and over and over again. Or if you find a really good creature off the top and Cryptic Coat is attached to it, since there's no way to equip this without it grabbing something off the top and equipping to it, If you find something good enough, maybe you just want to leave it there. And that's fine, because then if you flip it up, then this Cryptic Coat is giving +1/+0, and it can't be blocked to whatever creature you found off the top of your library.
Erica says Joseph and the amazing forensic investigation Cryptic Coat. Love it.
Me too. So yeah, like I said, there was a guy that I was playing who like didn't have a lot going on. So he was just like, I'm going to play 3, play the coat, grab a card off the top of my library, tap 2, bring it back to my hand, tap 3, play it again, grab the thing off the top of my library. And he was just doing that over and over again. And I was just like, what is this card doing? What's happening? So if you have a lot of mana, it's a way to just waste a lot of time, I suppose. But
ironically, it was more like taking a lot of coats off of your library instead of putting a coat on. The
1,000 Coats of Bartholomew Cubbins, or whatever the hell his name is. That's a deep cut. If anybody gets that reference, let me know. That's a deep cut. I loved that book. Next is Curious Inquiry. A single blue mana for an enchantment aura enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, investigate, aka make a clue. I didn't see this get played. It's an uncommon for a reason, but it's an enchant creature. So if you put this on a creature and then they kill that creature, you just got 2 for 1. So it's not great.
Get 2 for 1.
Yeah, I mean it's not, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not so sure. I don't love this one, I won't lie, but you know, I'm sure that there will absolutely be times where if somebody puts this in their deck, they can put it on a creature. That creature can get in if it's got, you know, if it's not able to be blocked or it's got flying and your opponent doesn't. Sure, I'm sure this could work. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay. Erica says, curious obsession, accept a clue instead of drawing.
Yeah, exactly. And Curious Obsession was also 1 blue, I think. So, yeah, I still don't love it. It's fine, but same idea of, you know, enchant creatures need to be pretty specific to be able to be good. And this one's, I don't think it's good enough. Deduce is next. 1 and a blue for an instant, draw a card, and investigate. So, again, getting a clue, which means, 2 mana to draw a card is fine. Investigating, like tacking on investigate to it, is okay as well. You still need to later pay 2 more mana to be able to draw another card with your clue. Again, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think anybody played this against me either. And I definitely didn't play it, but I feel like, because basically if you look at it this way, it's 4 mana, draw 2 cards, and like they're already printing better divinations. I couldn't think of the word. But what I like about it is this set cares about you having artifacts. It cares about you sacking artifacts or tapping artifacts to do effects and stuff. So this is 2 mana, draw a card, and put an artifact onto the battlefield. And so if you're in a deck where artifacts matter, which is a blue, like blue cares about that in this format, that I think is relevant. But I think if you have nothing that cares about you having artifacts, this would probably be a bit of a toss-up for me. Maybe a 23rd? I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Eric says, I think Deduce is quite good.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, there you go. This art is crazy to me for dramatic accusation. But this is 2 and a blue for an enchantment aura enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And then for 2 blue, you can shuffle enchanted creature into its owner's library. It's a story spotlight card. I think this card's very good. I like that it has the ability to be a way of making sure that if they have like a bounce spell or something for their own creature, that you might have the opportunity to have that 2 blue up to make it get shuffled into their library, which obviously means they wouldn't play the bounce spell if you had 2 blue up, but still, it's always nice to be able to like get rid of something that's very annoying, but then make sure that they can't just like blow you out by destroying your enchantment or, you know, like I said, bouncing their creature or something like that, so that you can just tap 2 blue at any time, make them shuffle it into their library, and then hopefully get rid of the problem for the rest of the game. Obviously, they have the capability of drawing it again, but it's more randomized than that. So,
okay. Erica says, I don't think of it as a 4 mana draw 2 because you don't need all 4 mana at once. I think it's a 2 mana draw 1 that clones itself.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. Sure, and it's instant speed both times, so that's a fair way of putting it. I like that. Okay, sure. Speaking of 2 mana instants, we have Eliminate the Impossible. 1 and a blue for an instant. It says Investigate. Creatures your opponents control get -2/-0 until end of turn, and if any of them are suspected, they are no longer suspected. I saw Suspect have like no impact on any games that I played at all.
Oh.
Maybe it's just more of a mechanic for draft. Maybe there's just not enough of it, because like there were some cards that like this that like care about there being suspected creatures or whatever, but I never saw it come up. Maybe I just didn't play enough games, who knows, but we've seen this many times, the -2/-0 to all, well actually this is all of your opponent's creatures. It's an uncommon. I don't hate it. The suspected thing makes it so that like if they swing in with creatures because the creatures have menace and they feel like they're safe now, you're shrinking them and making it so that they're able to be blocked by 1 creature. So you're hoping to be able to get them that way, and you investigate. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. I like it.
Okay. Erica says, when you can build around disorder and make a board of menace creatures, it seems like a board card.
This seems like a board card.
This seems like a board card. I wish it drew a card too.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably why they tacked Investigate onto it. But yeah, I mean, I could see the benefits in this. Would I pick this very highly? No, right? This wouldn't be like in my, you know, pick 1, 2, or 3 if there was anything better in the pack. But I don't think it's a bad card. I would happily play it. We have Exit Specialist. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 human detective. Right?
Yeah.
Note the detective. Exit Specialist can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. And you can disguise it, meaning play it face down for 3 mana, and then flip it face up for its disguise cost of 1 and a blue. And when it's turned face up, return another target creature to its owner's hand. So again, that could be one of your creatures if they put like a dramatic accusation on it or something. Or it could be one of your opponent's creatures if it has +1/+1 counters on it or something to that effect. Or if you want to just tempo them, right? They just played a big 6-drop. And you're like, cool, bounce it back to your hand for 2 mana. It's pretty good. And again, technically it's 5 mana, but it's spread out over 2 turns. So... and it can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. It doesn't matter. It's got 1 toughness. That line is kind of irrelevant to me, because like they could just block it with a 1/1. It's a 2/1, so a 1/1 would still kill it. I don't know. I don't think that line makes much sense to me in that case. But
sure, okay. Erica says suspect, not disorder. I don't know how that happened. LOL.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what you meant, but yeah. So what she was saying, if you build around suspect as a mechanic,
yeah,
then there's a bunch of menace creatures. So yeah, I get that. And like I said, that's why I think it must be a draft mechanic, because there's not a lot of suspecting cards to begin with. That at least again that I've seen in my limited, no pun intended, play. So yeah, maybe it's something that you look for more in draft.
Okay.
Next we have Fey Flight. 1 and a blue for an enchantment aura enchant creature with flash. So this is better when enchant creatures have flash, because at least like You have a lot more situations where it's more beneficial. You can use it as a combat trick of some sort. So it says when it enters the battlefield, enchanted creature gains hexproof until end of turn. So first of all, you can save that creature now. Like, oh, I'm going to kill this. Well, I'm going to give it hexproof until end of turn now. And it has +1/+0 and flying. So now you can flash it in on your opponent's turn to block. You just give a big creature that you have +1/+0 and flying so that it can block. This obviously could be used to make a trade, but obviously you're 2-for-1ing yourself, so that's not the best idea and best use of this card. If it gave toughness as well, it would be better. But I'm sure that's why it doesn't give toughness, because they don't want it to be better. It's probably pretty okay on its own. The other thing that you could do, which would be pretty cool, is just like flash this in at the end of your opponent's turn, give your best creature flying, and you could possibly just win the game at that point. If they if they are removing things or it's towards the end of the game, you just make one of your creatures like a huge, make it into a huge threat and or something that's completely out of reach, literally, by giving it flying. Mm-hmm. So,
Erica says, importantly, if Exit Specialist is face down as a disguise and gets blocked by something with 3 power, turning it face up will not make it unblocked.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, that's why I said that. Another reason I should say that first line is completely irrelevant in my opinion. Right? Because if they block the 2/2 with the 3/3, because then they know it won't die and you flip this up, yeah, it doesn't make it become not blocked. Same with protection. Right? Even if you gave it protection from the color that the blocking creature is, it doesn't stop being blocked at that point. That's not how it works. So, very good point, Erica. Next is Forensic Gadgeteer. 2 and a blue for a 2/3 Vidalcan Artificer Detective.
She's awesome.
Whenever you cast an artifact spell, see, blue cares about artifacts, investigate. So then you get more artifacts. And it says activated abilities of artifacts you control cost 1 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1. So if you have an activated ability of an artifact that costs 1, it will still cost 1. But for example, all of your clues now cost 1 to sacrifice and draw a card while this is on the field. It is a rare. It's a rare for a reason. It's an interesting card. I feel like in all of the sealeds that I did, I felt like blue was the weakest color I saw overall. And I still feel that way looking at these cards. Just throwing that out there. Does that mean that's definitively the case? I have no idea. But in every sealed that I did, I don't think I ever played blue. It just did not feel like blue was strong enough. So.
Okay. Maybe that was their way of kind of balancing out the fact that I feel like blue is pretty much always good.
Yeah, I mean, in different formats, that may change format to format, but yeah, overall, people will argue, and I think that's a fair point, that blue is the strongest color in Magic. So,
even though they're all supposed to be even keel with each other.
Yeah.
So maybe this was their way of kind of nerfing that a little bit.
Maybe.
In this particular set.
Mm-hmm.
Erica says, black seems very powerful in this format. The sheer amount of efficient removal.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Yeah, I mean, removal is pretty important. And if that's where you're getting the majority of it, yeah, that's going to be the one that's going to stand out for sure. Next, we have Forensic Researcher. 2 and a blue for a 1/3 Merfolk Detective. You can tap it to untap another target permanent you control. So there are a lot of different uses for that. Obviously, you can make it so that one of your creatures could basically have vigilance, right? After you attack with it, you untap it so that it's now available on blocks as well.
Cool.
It could allow you to ramp, because you could tap a land for mana and then untap it with this so that you have 1 extra land, essentially, or 1 extra mana available to you, essentially. It could be like if you have something that is an artifact or an enchantment that taps and has activated abilities, you can do those abilities a second time. So there's a lot of uses for that ability. And then The second ability is tap collect evidence 3. Tap target creature you don't control. That one's a little rougher. You'd probably only be using that 2 or 3 times a game, as opposed to cards like this, where if you could tap something by tapping mana and then tapping your creature, you might do that every turn to lock down their best creature. This, you can't really do that. You have to have ways of getting 3 converted mana cost into your graveyard, or mana value, excuse me, over and over, to be able to do this multiple times. And I don't see that happening a lot, but I still think that first ability is very good, and the fact that it's a 1/3 makes it a viable blocker. Again, would I take this very highly? Probably not, but it's not a bad card. I wouldn't be upset to play this card.
Okay. Sure. I like it.
Yeah.
Eric says, specifically, the 2 mana black kill spell that can't be countered even by ward.
Yeah, there are a couple of cards in the set that say can't be countered, and then thankfully remind you in the reminder text that ward would counter. Like, that's how ward works. So ward says that if you don't pay the ward cost, it counters the spell.
Okay.
But if a spell can't be countered, then ward doesn't matter, and you don't have to pay the ward cost because the spell can't be countered.
Sure.
So.
Marcus says just Gruul.
I mean, that's up to you. But like I said, I know Amy's here, and I know your Azorius deck already, so I don't think I need to play it because I've seen it already. That's the only reason why. I'm not afraid of it. It's not because I'm scared. It's just because I've seen it already. So
I thought you weren't scared because you have noticed that blue is not as good in this.
No, because he's talking about Brawl, not this. This isn't live on Arena yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Erica says, I want the researcher to cost 1 less mana.
Yeah, I mean, 2 mana for a 1/3 that could do that. I see that. Yeah. Still, like I said, I wouldn't hate to play it, but I wouldn't pick it very highly. I would probably ignore that second ability unless it were like late enough in the game where I felt like I could put myself into a winning position with it. Okay. Especially if I had any other cards that cared about collecting evidence, because that's the other balancing act that you have to do, is like, okay, I have another card in my deck that I know would be really good if I have collect evidence, like the
but you can't use it until you solve the murder.
the Crime Stopper sprite, right, wants you to be able to collect evidence 6 to tap something and then stun it. But if you have this thing, it's like, well, I could just tap it for collect evidence 3. So, like I said, it's a bit of a balancing act. It's a little weird. Next is Furtive Courier. 2 and a blue for a 3/2 Merfolk Advisor. Not a detective.
Okay.
It can't be blocked as long as you've sacked an artifact this turn. Which at first you might think, well, how many cards are going to let you sack artifacts? But don't forget, to use a clue, you have to sack it. And there are a lot of ways to make clues. So, and then whenever it attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. So it's a 3-powered creature that can't be blocked if you've used a clue to draw a card. And then when it attacks, you draw another card and then discard a card.
Nice.
Very strong. A bit of a win more, right? If you're behind, this card doesn't help you at all. Just throwing that out there. But if you're winning, it'll help you win more. That's
winning.
And obviously, I mean, you're incentivized to have clues and sack them to draw cards, but of course you're going to want to do that regardless. And then this gives you another card and selection, because then, I mean, you're discarding, but you're picking your best out of those. So, also notably, even if you haven't sacked an artifact, if you attack with this at any point, you have to draw a card, then discard a card. So if you're empty-handed, you're milling yourself for 1 if you attack with this.
Okay.
Be aware. Next is Hotshot Investigators. 5 and a blue.
I love them.
You do?
Yeah. This guy's just like waving to the crowd. Like, yes, I am a hotshot. Thank you for asking.
Do these Vidalkin have 5 fingers?
Yeah.
They're supposed to have 6, right? Vidalkin have 6 fingers, don't they?
I believe so.
I believe so too. Is it just on Kaladesh that they have 6 fingers? Am I forgetting? Are the Vidalcan on Ravnica different? I feel like they're not. I think they're supposed to have 6 fingers, and these blatantly have 5 each.
Well, Erica says, might be a little too much of a deep dive, but I think collect evidence pairs best with black.
Yeah, keep going.
Your removal spells in the yard turn into pseudo removal or other pseudo spells.
Yeah, okay. Because there's not like a clear black-red spells matters deck where you're trying to like return instants and sorceries from your graveyard to replay them and stuff, so you get to use them after you've already used them to do other things. That's really cool. I like that. I don't think that's too much of a deep dive at all. I think that makes perfect sense. Anyway, now that we've talked about the art for Hotshot Investigators being wrong, it's a, like I said, it's a 6-mana 4/4 Vidalcan Detective. So it's a detective. Nice. And when it enters the battlefield, return up to one other target creature to its owner's hand. And then if you controlled it, investigate. So if you bounce one of their things for tempo or getting rid of +1/+1 counters or enchant creatures or something to that effect, that's fine. It helps you out and that's great. Or you can do it to one of your creatures to get an enchant creature off of it, or like that your opponent put there, or to be able to replay it later for an enter the battlefield effect or something like that. Because this doesn't have flash, so you can't like save it from a kill spell or something. But you could do that, and then you get to investigate as well.
Cool. She says, I remember hearing some lore blurb about Kaladeshi Vidalcan evolving to have the 6th finger to work faster, but that might be me.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely possible.
All right.
We have a mythic next in Intrude on the Mind. 3 blue for an instant. This is a weird card. Let's talk about it. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library.
It's a big paragraph.
Yes, it is. That's why I said let's talk about it. And then we're going to separate those 5 cards into 2 piles.
Okay.
An opponent chooses one of those piles. You put that pile into your hand and the other pile into your graveyard.
Okay.
Create a 0/0 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying, and then put a +1/+1 counter on it for each card put into your graveyard this way. So something interesting that I saw somebody, or that somebody mentioned, which I liked the idea of, was you make a pile of 5 and a pile of 0. And then you say to your opponent, either I'm drawing 5 cards or I'm making a 5/5 flyer. Your choice.
Okay.
I like that. I like that idea a lot. Obviously, once you've revealed the cards, you can then separate them at that point. So if you realize that like your best card is there,
Yeah.
and you know they're not going to let you have it, and it's better than a 5/5 flyer, you might put your best card in one pile and then the other 4 cards in the other pile. So that basically you know you're drawing 4 cards because you know they're going to get rid of it, and you get a 1/1 flyer in the process. Or you can do like your best card and a land or something, so that if they ditch your best card and the land, you at least get like a 2/2 flyer or something like that. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Like I said, I like the idea of 5 and nothing, and then make your opponent choose those 2 options for you. But it's 5 mana at instant speed. So like, sure, you could do it at the end of your opponent's turn, and that would be pretty cool if you're keeping up other spells. And then if they've done nothing to make you use your your mana on something else, then you can play this, but it's very expensive. So if you play this on your own turn and you get, again, you give them the 5 or nothing option, they can give you a 5/5 flyer, or they can let you draw 5 cards. But if you're drawing 5 cards, you're probably not playing any of them except maybe a land. So
She says this card looks very good, but I think will actually underperform solely because the opponent has the agency over the cards. they will know what to play around.
Correct. And they know what they already have possible answers to in their hand.
Sure.
Like, okay, I'm going to give you a 5/5 flyer because I have a kill spell in my hand. So I'm going to put all 5 of your cards in the graveyard so you don't get any of them. And I'm going to kill your flyer the second it's out by bouncing it even. Because it's a token. So all they have to do is bounce it. It goes away forever. And you've wasted your 5-mana mythic doing nothing. So, like,
yeah,
that
sounds bad.
Right. So, yes, I think Eric makes a good point.
All right. Everything's got a downside, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's feast or famine, right? With this particular mythic. We have Jaded Analyst. 1 and a blue for a 3/2 human detective with Defender. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, because again, you're going to have clues, Jaded Analyst loses Defender and gains Vigilance until end of turn. It's a... I don't love this one. It's a 2-mana 3/2, right? That if you use your clues to draw cards, it can then attack that turn. But it's still just a 3/2. So any of their disguise creatures could kill it. Anything with 2 power at all could kill it. Like, look at it compared to Furtive Courier. Furtive Courier is a 3/2 and can attack whenever it wants regardless, and you draw a card and discard a card whenever it attacks. But if you've used a clue, then it can't be blocked, so you just automatically are getting in for 3 damage regardless.
Nice.
Whereas this Jaded Analyst, it only works if you have used a clue. Otherwise, it's a 3/2 with Defender, which is not what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like this one.
Okay. I'm going to go get some more water because my eyes are very dry.
Can you do the same for me?
Sure.
Thank you. I will read. Erica says, I just also think most players are very bad at playing fact or fiction effects, LOL. Sure. And especially because, I mean, the hope is that you can play mind games with your opponent, but, like, maybe you can't. You know? I think it goes both ways. I know what I have, and you know what you have, but we don't know what the other one has unless we, like, are really playing those mind games really well. There are going to be certain people that know the set inside and out and be like, okay, you have 3 mana open in those 2 colors. I know every single card you could possibly have right now. So now is the time to play Intrude on the Mind. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I hear your point, Erica, for sure. Next is Living Conundrum. 4 and a blue for a 2/5 elemental with hexproof. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip that draw instead. And as long as there are no cards in your library, Living Conundrum has base power and toughness 10/10 and is a flying vigilance creature. This card with hexproof feels okay, but again, I feel like this is the kind of card that is only good in sealed, or in because the game is going to go very long, or in draft when you know that your deck is like nothing but card draw. And I don't just mean, thank you very much. I don't just mean clues, although that will help quite a bit. But you have to draw your entire deck. You have to have this card on the field, and they can still, I mean, I guess they'd have to have flyers, but they could still chump block this every turn. And then you're getting nothing else. You will have everything that you're going to have. So they get to still draw cards and build out their board and try to get you. Obviously, if they have a board wipe that doesn't target, you're completely screwed, because then they board wipe you, pass, and you immediately lose because you can't draw a card. Or you try to draw from an empty library. So there are a lot of ways that this goes bad. Yeah, I don't like this one. This feels like a constructed card, but I feel like if you would draw a card while you have no cards in your library, shtick just feels like a constructed thing to begin with. So if we're talking about limited, which is what I'm doing here, I don't know. I don't love this one for limited, personally. Lost in the Maze is X blue for an enchantment with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, you tap X target creatures, and you put a stun counter on each of those creatures that you don't control, and tapped creatures that you control have hexproof. This is a wild card. Wild card. First of all, if we look at this right here, since you can see where my mouse is, this water, or spirits, or whatever the hell it is, it looks like water to me, is flowing this way. It's coming down and around, up here, and then it loops around and comes back to here again. So this particular flow of water, or spirit flying around or whatever, is literally just flying in a circle. But then there's this flow of water here that comes this way, up and around, but apparently it splits here and goes in both directions, and then loops around here, like it kind of goes nowhere. I mean, maybe this is the exit to the maze here. It's hard to tell, but it says lost in the maze. What's lost in the maze? Is it water that's lost in the maze? Is it a spirit? I'm very confused. But anyway.
It's your spirit.
My spirit does feel a little lost, for sure.
I wanted to point out that the Jaded Analyst's mustache looks pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah. He trims it quite well. It is very, it's very Steve Harvey-ish.
Oh, yeah. Nickel says, hello. Hello. We said hello to you when we started the stream, but we'll say hello again.
Yes, welcome back, Nickel. It's great to have you. Happy Magic Monday.
I got water, and then I also got myself a Sprite because I wanted to prevent crime. So
that'll be a fun... Yeah, perfect. Okay. But in terms of the cards for Lost in the Maze, it's an enchantment. Why is it an it's just always tapped creatures that you control have hexproof. Whoa. Okay. I misunderstood this card. So you could literally play this card for 2 blue and just make sure that every creature that you attack with that isn't vigilant is hexproof. So they can't like kill it after you've attacked with it or something. Or like shrink it or whatever. They can still buff their own creatures. They can still do a lot of different things in that respect. But they can't target your creatures if you tap them. There are obviously going to be ways for them to get around that. But that's pretty cool. And then obviously to stun any number of creatures that you have excess mana above 2 with feels very good, especially late game. Especially late game. You just have 2 turns where you're like, hey, all your creatures are tapped now. And I'm going to be swinging, and all of my creatures will be hexproof in the process. That feels really good. So yeah, I like this card. I would look forward to trying it out. We have Mistway Spy is a 1 blue mana 1/1 merfolk detective with flying. It also has disguise, so again, face down for 3, flip it face up for 1 and a blue. And when it's turned face up, until end of turn, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, investigate. So obviously what you want to do with this, even though it feels really bad because it's a 1/1 flyer, is you want to flip it face up and then attack with it when they don't have any flying blockers because they don't know that you're going to have a flying creature. So you can hit them for 1 and investigate. I mean, it's also just a 1 mana 1/1 flyer, which you could probably get in for a solid like 5 damage with this thing before they're able to put up a proper defense to it. So that's probably more what I would play it for, would be that aspect of it. I guess like trying to wait until you have a turn where you know that 2 of your smaller creatures are going to get in if you're like a go wide deck, so that you can flip this thing up for 2 mana, hit them with 2 creatures, get 2 clues, and then it helps you because you care about artifacts or whatever. There are a lot of ways that this card could work. I think it's an uncommon for a reason. I think it's good. Again, would I first pick it? Hell no. But it's pretty interesting. I would definitely play it.
I think this might be the maze here.
Okay, that makes sense.
With the water.
Sure. And maybe it's a Mistway Spy. So it looks like maybe he's peeking over the wall and like listening in or spying on somebody in that way.
Yeah, so going on top of the water, possibly even using magic to lift the water up.
Sure.
And then so that they can see over the wall.
I like that. Next is Out Cold, which looks really cool. I mean, if people know about me, they know that ice elemental stuff is definitely my aesthetic. So this card is awesome. 3 and a blue for an instant that can't be countered. And it does say, as I said, this includes by the ward ability. You tap up to 2 target creatures and put a stun counter on each of them, and you investigate. So I think this card's great. I think it's 4 mana, which is a little expensive, but for everything that it's doing, it makes sense that it's that much mana. You're tapping likely their 2 best creatures. I think the best time to use an ability like this is when they go to combat on their turn, because then you can tap 2 of their creatures that may have already been planning to attack you. Maybe they weren't planning to attack you with it, and so you still get to tap them. You could do this at the end of their turn. That's fine too. Tap their 2 things that would be good blockers. Put stun counters on them so that you get a turn. They get their turn, still don't untap, but the stun counters go away. You get a second turn. Just keep swinging at them and doing all that fun stuff. So, very cool card. And for a common that can't be countered, so you don't have to pay extra for ward, feels pretty good.
Marcus says Soul of Windgrace is the thing.
Oh, okay. Is that what that's what you're going to be playing against us? That's fair. That seems awesome. I look forward to that. In fact, my phone is in my pocket, so I need to make sure that I can see what time it is so that we leave ourselves enough time to play Marcus. Next is Prophet's Eidetic Memory. For 1 and a blue for a rare legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. You have no maximum hand size, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, you put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn, -1. Okay. Again, I mean, how is this not a win more? I guess it...
If you lose...
I guess you just, it puts counters on blockers, I suppose. Like, you don't have to attack with the creature that you put counters on it with, or, counters on the creature with this. But I don't know. Like, it's 2 mana, so it basically, you can play it early game, right? And then have it sit on the battlefield so that every time you play a card draw spell and or use a clue to draw a card, you're putting at least 1 counter on something. And you have no maximum hand size so that you can just keep drawing cards. So you can kind of combine it with like this living conundrum, right? To be able to make it so that you're just trying to empty your deck as quickly as possible, have the whole thing in your hand, and then win with this type of a combination. I don't know. That's definitely not my preferred way to play. Like I said, in sealed, the sealed format was very slow, so it's definitely more of a possibility, I would think. No. But who knows?
Now that I have this Sprite, I'm hiccuping.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a living conundrum.
Next, we have the Projector Inspector. For 2 and a blue,
He's just the guy who works at the movie theater.
Yep, seems that way. It's a 3/2 human detective, and whenever it or another detective enters the battlefield under your control, and whenever a detective is turned face up, you may draw a card, and if you do, discard a card. So again, more card draw. It is a detective, so for all the decks that care about you having detectives, it's another 3/2, which is not a great stat line. I don't love it, but... okay. I mean, drawing a card and discarding a card is good. Again, it's selection, it's filtering. So, like, if you're short on mana, you're digging for lands. If you are flooding out or you have too much mana, you can discard lands to be able to just draw into gas. So, okay.
Speaking of gas, look at this guy down here. He's farting up a storm.
This Steam Core Scholar, very
Yeah.
nice. Very, very nice.
Like an actual storm, it looks like.
It is a weird detective. We have Reasonable Doubt, which is 1 in a blue for an instant counter-target spell, unless its controller pays 2, and suspect up to 1 target creature. Okay. Obviously, it's an instant because it's a counterspell. I mean, sure. I'm not a counterspell guy. It's very cheap. It counters, but there's the caveat of unless they pay 2. So, like, late game, this is a very bad counterspell. Because if they're playing something for 4 mana but have 6 lands on the field, you can do nothing about it. But I guess if they play a second card in a turn, you have that opportunity to stop that from happening. And then suspecting one of your creatures makes a lot of sense in being able to give it menace. The interesting thing about suspect is that you can suspect your creatures to give them menace, which means that it's evasion, right? It's harder for them to be blocked. Or you can put it on one of your opponent's creatures that is a blocker, right? There's like the 1/10 creature out there. So if you put it on that, it now can't block. And so it's got 1 power. It's going to attack you? No. And now it can't block. So you're kind of making that creature obsolete. So there's a couple of different uses of suspect. Do I love this card? No. Is that my playstyle and that's why I don't love it? Yes. So if you do, let me know, but you're obviously more than welcome. It's just definitely not my thing.
Joe has reminded me for about the 80th time that this is Ravnica, not Innistrad.
Correct.
So is Ravnica, is this supposed to be like a steampunk type place? Because I didn't think Ravnica was, but this woman is clearly dressed as though it's a steampunk type deal here.
No, but it says Merle had the motive, but Blovenak was the one caught with the murder weapon. And who was the 7-foot-tall hooded figure? This case is a mess. So they're detectives. So, like, I guess that's just the detective aesthetic that they're going for.
Oh, okay.
With a lot of these characters, since there's apparently so many detectives that have just popped up on Ravnica all of a sudden. So, yeah.
Well, I guess people see a need, and they, if they're good enough at it, they could, decide that, well, there are jobs in that, so,
Sure. Sure.
that'll be what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I feel like, this very much looks like a steampunk sort of outfit to me.
Sure.
With the ruffles, the pocket watch, the sort of menswear style, but then the very feminine add-ons with the very cinched waist and the very puffy tops of the sleeves.
Sure. We have another rare next. This is a weird one. 1 blue for an instant. Reenact the crime. Exile target non-land card in a graveyard that was put there from anywhere this turn. Copy it, and you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. You need triple blue, which means unless you're a mono blue or basically mono blue with like a little bit of a splash deck, it's going to be very difficult to play this in limited. The other thing is it needs to be a card that was put there this turn. So maybe you are just getting aggressive with your own creatures, and so if and when they block and kill your stuff, you can just get your best thing back. But if you are... It's any non-land card, so I guess if you're playing like a removal spell or something, and you want to copy that removal spell, you need to have that much mana for the removal spell, plus 4 more mana, including 3 of which that is blue. So that's going to be extremely difficult. Or you could wait around for your opponent to cast something that you want to try to get back or steal. I don't like these types of cards. Like I said, if you're going to be aggressive and you want to get your own card back, then maybe... like your own creature card that you've attacked with, but blue doesn't really feel like the aggro strategy where you want to be like getting your best thing back, especially if you're keeping up 4 blue, like 4 mana, 3 of which is blue. It's just, I don't know. I don't like this card personally. And again, that's for limited. Next is the Steam Core Scholar, 2 and a blue for a 2/2 weird detective with flying and vigilance. And when it enters
farting.
And when it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Then discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant or a sorcery or a creature with flying.
Okay. It's a lot of ors.
It's also a 3-mana 2/2 flying vigilance. Like, sure, you get to draw 2 cards and you get to discard 2 cards. It's not bad.
It's weird.
It is, and the flavor text says, that's weird.
Yeah.
Next is Sudden Setback. 2 blue for an instant, uncommon. The owner of target spell or non-land permanent puts it on the top or bottom of their library. This is usually 5 mana, so this time it's 4. I don't hate this one. And it's the owner of target spell or non-land permanent. So it's basically a way to counter something, right? They play something and you're like, cool, top or bottom of your library, your choice. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Because then if they don't play something that you want to essentially counter, right? Even if it's just for a turn, you could do it with their best creature, so they have to recast it. An expensive creature, so they have to recast it. You could do it to their worst creature. Are they going to put it back on top at that point? No. But you get to tempo them a little bit, make them make a tough choice, because if they need to draw something better than what you're bouncing, they're probably going to put it on the bottom, but they could just draw a land at that point. Like, there are a lot of different options and a lot of different ways that this card could go pretty well for you. Okay. So, I like this one.
Yeah.
2 more blue cards remaining. Surveillance Monitor. 3 and a blue for a 3/3 Vidalcan Detective at uncommon. When it enters the battlefield, you may collect evidence 4, and whenever you collect evidence, at any point, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter creature token or artifact creature token with flying. That's really tough. It's a 4-mana 3/3. It's a detective, so detective matters. You make a singular Thopter whenever you collect evidence. So this time you're collecting evidence 4 for no other reason than to make a single Thopter. That's literally all it lets you do. Now, it does mean that any other card that you use to collect evidence with, you get whatever you're getting from collecting evidence from that card, and you get a Thopter on top of it. But is that worth a card? Because the other thing is, this is a 3/3 creature, which is good. You can attack with it. You can block with it. But if and when this dies, you no longer gain the Thopters whenever you collect evidence, because it's on this card. That's weird. That's tough.
Yeah, I feel like it's not great. Based on what you just said.
Yeah.
Unless you're, like, mistaken about it.
I'm definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, it sounds bad. I feel like this is just the manager at the movie theater who just sits in the back room watching the camera screens.
Sure.
Instead of actually doing work.
I mean, it's a surveillance monitor, right? So basically the implication is that this Vidalcan is sending out Thopters with cameras to spy on all the people in the city, and then sitting around watching all those cameras. So it's the same idea, except instead of movie theater, it's streets of the city.
So I guess that's why the card is bad, because he's not doing any work.
Very nice.
He's just watching the screens.
Yep. Next is Unauthorized Exit, which is 1 and a blue for an instant, and here's that bounce spell we were talking about. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and Surveil 1. So the benefit here is with Surveil, you can put stuff into your graveyard, which means that you are getting the more stuff in your graveyard for collecting evidence.
See, Holland is here saying, I made it. With the this face.
It's great to see you, C. Holland. How are you? How have you been? Did you get to play any of this set yet? But in general, how have you been? How's life? It's great to see you. Happy Magic Monday.
What would you, if you had to name that emoji, what would you call it?
I guess it's supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
So, like, happy jazz hands, maybe?
Okay. Because I always thought of it as like a hug. Like you're putting your arms around the other person, so like the hands are like...
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So then you think it's back of hands, not front of hands.
Whatever. Or like the face is the person you're hugging. So you're looking at your own hands on the sides of their face. I don't know.
I like that less.
Yeah,
it
is worse.
I liked the first thing you said better. Anyway, Unauthorized Exit is a fantastic card. It's 2 mana, instant speed, bounce a thing. Again, we've talked about it multiple times. You can bounce one of your cards to save it and or to get yourself a... like, this time, because it's an instant, you could save it from a removal spell. Hey, I'm going to kill your creature. Cool, I'm going to bounce it back to my hand. And if it hasn't entered the battlefield effect, I'm now going to get that effect again when I play it later. You're also getting Surveil 1. You could bounce one of their creatures that is attacking you or blocking, or that they've put a pump spell on, or they've tried to target it with an enchant creature. Like, there are so many different ways that bounce spells work massively well. This is a common, so you're going to see plenty of them. This is a great card. I love it. The Surveil on top of it, I wouldn't have even needed it. I think it's a perfectly fine spell. 2 mana instant speed just to bounce something, but you also get Surveil 1. So I'm not going to complain about this at all. Really, really nice. Moving on to black. Our first card is Agency Coroner. 4 and a black for a 3/6 Ogre Cleric.
Somebody's got to tell him that's not a body, it's a plank of wood. He's doing it wrong.
What are you talking about?
Oh, there's a body on top of it.
Under the blanket.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you can see the feet down at the bottom and the head up here.
I thought there was just like a rag on top of a plank.
No.
And he was like using magic to like elevate it.
Gotcha. So it's a 5 mana 3/6 Ogre Cleric, and then for 2 and a black, sack another creature, draw a card. If the sacrificed creature was suspected, draw 2 cards instead. There is not really much of a Sacrifice Matters deck that I recall seeing. Obviously, putting things into your graveyard works for collecting evidence, and you're drawing more cards, I guess. But I don't like this card. It's a 5 mana 3/6, so I guess it's good at blocking, but like not really. I don't know. I don't like this one. It's a common, so yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
This card I do like, though. Alley Assailant. 2 and a black for a 3/3 Vampire Rogue. It enters the battlefield tapped, or you can disguise it. 3 mana to put it face down. 6 mana, 4 black to flip it face up. And when you flip it face up, target opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. It's a 6-point life swing for 6 mana. But the other thing is, if you really need it early game, if you have nothing else going on, you can tap 3 and play it face up, and it just enters tapped as a 3/3. I don't know that I ever played it face up as a 3/3. I've only ever played it face down. If it sits there all game, fine. It's still a 2/2 with Ward 2 for 3 mana. Not bad at all. But if you get to 6 mana and you have the opportunity, flip this thing up. They lose 3, you gain 3. Really cool. Good life swing. It's a 3/3 creature, which is a decent body, even on turn 6. But obviously it falls off a little bit if they have bigger creatures or whatever. But I like this card. I had 2 of them in one deck. So
The decent body was on the last card. I thought it was just a rag.
but it was actually a body.
Yeah.
That's very funny. I like it.
See, Holland says, no, not yet. Been fine, thanks. Has the Arena Streamers event happened yet? If not, are you invited?
So, we talked about this last week. The Arena Streamer event
Funny you should ask.
Yes, has not happened and will not happen. It was supposed to happen. If it was going to happen at all, it would have been last Thursday. So it is typically these days, now that with the newer structure that they've been doing, it has been the day before pre-release. It did not happen this time due to unforeseen circumstances. those unforeseen circumstances are the ones that I told everybody about the week before they made the announcement, when I said that I wasn't sure if the event was even going to happen, because around Christmas time, when Hasbro made all those awesome layoffs at Wizards, one of the people that they laid off was the guy who was in charge of the streamer events. And so I was like, I don't know if they're going to be doing it. The other clue that I had was that when Loading Ready Run did their pre-release, which they do in coordination with Wizards, they still did it, but they did it without any guests. Because what do you need when you're coordinating with content creators to come in as guests? You need a community manager who is going to actually do that coordination with all those people. Because it's not Loading Ready Run's job. They do their own work with their own people. So it was a Loading Ready Run only pre-release, because it's a lot easier for Wizards to just say, oh, well, we already have your address. We'll send you all the stuff. You all know what to do. Just do it. And we will sort of advertise it, but not really. We'll let you do all the advertising for it as well. And we'll give you the product. I would hope also pay them, but I don't have that information. But I hope they receive more compensation than simply just the packs of cards. I hope they also receive monetary compensation for it. And especially because when guests come, Wizards pays for their airfare and their hotel. So I would hope that Loading Ready Run, who get to just stay and do the thing that they do normally, would also get some money, since Wizards would be paying money for airfare and hotel for other creators, which means they're putting money into them. It may not necessarily be like cash in that creator's pocket, but still.
Because they have to spend it all.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't blame them for that. I think that makes perfect sense.
Of course.
And I would, we've talked about this many times, I would love to be on a pre-release. It's kind of a dream of mine. Pre-release is kind of a big deal to me. So, being able to do that would be really cool. But yeah, without a community manager, it's just Loading Ready Run, who, by the way, do a fantastic job. I love Loading Ready Run. I always have. They're fantastic people. So please don't misunderstand when I say I'm upset with Hasbro and the decisions that they've made, not with Loading Ready Run or any of those folks there. They did an incredible job with the shit sandwich that they were handed. And again, I could see that from a mile away as to why that was what it was.
It was unforeseen, Joe.
It was unforeseen circumstances. I, who had no inside information whatsoever, was able to call it out, but it sure was unforeseen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, Joe. Someone is mad about what Hasbro has done? I am shocked.
Never once. We have Barbed Servitor is next. 3 and a black for a 1/1 artifact creature construct.
But it's awesome, though. I know it's just a 1/1, but look.
You'll think it's even more awesome when you hear what it does. Also, it's the Rakdos symbol as its face.
Yeah.
It is indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, suspect it, so it has menace and it can't block. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and you lose a life. Whenever it's dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life.
Nice.
So there are a lot of different ways that this card could work. You can just basically play it and attack with it every turn. If it takes damage, meaning if your opponent's like, okay, well, it's a 1/1, I'm going to block it with a 2/2. The 1/1 won't die because it's indestructible, but the 2/2 won't die either, but it takes 2 damage. And so your opponent loses 2 life. So instead, they're going to be like, fine, I'm going to take the hit. Great. That means that the Barbed Servitor hits them for 1. You then draw a card and lose a life. So you've each lost 1 life, but you get a card out of it as well. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is there are a number of cards in this set that say target creature or all your creatures or whatever are no longer suspected. So you just make this card not be suspected anymore, and then you just leave it back on blocks forever. So now anytime your opponent attacks with a creature on the ground, you're just like, I'll block it. You're attacking with a 3/3? Cool, take 3.
Right.
So there are a lot of different ways to make this card work. It is 4 mana, which is a little expensive, because you've got to do a lot of other things, I think, to make it work. Basically, on turn 4, if you're attacking them for 1 every turn, they might not care. You are drawing cards, so there's that. But otherwise, they're taking 1 damage. So are you, which means if you're behind, if they've done more damage to you, there's only a certain amount of time that you can do this for, because you're going to draw a card and lose a life. Now, drawing cards puts you way ahead, especially as that snowballs. But, like I said, if you're at a lower life total than your opponent, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So, it's something to be aware of that, it's not perfect. But it's a really cool card. I would absolutely love to try it. I know there were a number of people who played it at pre-release this weekend that I saw. I never played against it, thankfully, but it seems really cool. I would love to play it.
It reminds me of that weird raccoon one, that green card that I hate.
Oh, okay.
You know
That's
what I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
from like New Capenna, right? Because it's got like the clothes on the raccoon.
No, it's like it's Barbie like this.
Oh,
and then it's like surrounded in light, and it just looks really fake.
Yeah, it's from Eldraine because it's got an adventure on it. It's like a 7-mana adventure or like a 2-mana creature, and it taps for mana. Yep.
I just remember it's a green card, and I thought it looked really fake and creepy.
Yeah, because it's like a glowy raccoon, because it's like a filigree raccoon almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the Basilica Stalker next. 5 and a black for a 3/4 vampire detective with flying, because it's a vampire. Whenever Basilica Stalker deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life, and you surveil 1. And it has Disguise for 4 and a black. You can flip it up. So there were a couple of cards like this. There was a flyer that was 4 white, I think, or Disguise for 4 and a white. So this allows you to like get it out 1 turn earlier than you would, and it's a 3/4 flyer. It's a detective, so that matters. And whenever it hits them, you gain a life and surveil 1. I think this is a great card. Really great card. Obviously, like, it's later, right? It's a higher costed creature, so you can't have like a million of them in your deck, but it's a good card. So I would definitely play it. Again, is it my first pick? Hell no. But it's a very good common creature that hopefully you'd see a number of. I wouldn't put more than 2 of them in a deck. But that means that hopefully I'd be able to get 1 or 2 in a draft. If I wanted it.
I just want to mention that for the barbed servitor.
Yes, please.
Between this guy and the raccoon, this guy wears it better.
Well, you said you thought he looked cool.
Yeah. I think the other one just looks really unnatural, even though it's supposed to look particularly natural.
Sure.
And this one's supposed to look unnatural, and I think it looks much more natural.
Okay. I mean, the fact that it's
Maybe that just speaks to me and who I am.
I would say the fact that it's on fire, seemingly serving an alcoholic beverage, is really dangerous.
It's in a glass.
It also works at a bar.
It appears like it can control where the flames are located on its body.
It's a construct.
Because it doesn't look like the flames are anywhere near the drink.
Okay. Amy, the Rakdos apologist over here.
Exactly. Always.
Next, we have another case with Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. 1 black mana for an enchantment case. When this enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1
It's
turn.
not a case, it's a kiss.
It's a case of a kiss.
Oh, it's the case of the kiss.
That's right. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target creature that was dealt damage this turn. I don't usually love those effects, but okay. To solve it, 3 or more creature cards have to be put into graveyards from anywhere this turn. So if you've surveilled and you saw a creature card and you put it into your graveyard, that counts. If creatures have died in combat, that also counts. And it would be solved at the end of your turn. And then if it is solved, this case becomes a 4/4 Gorgon with Death Touch and Lifelink. I don't love this one. It's 1 mana, but you can't play it on turn 1. Or I guess you could, but the whole point is you want to kill something. But, like I said, I don't, or maybe I implied, I don't like those types of abilities of destroy a creature that was dealt damage this turn. Like, if you have a 2/3 and they have a 1/3, and one of them attacks and you block, sure, damage has been dealt. That's a way to get them, I suppose. But you have to, like, you really have to plan that out of, like, you have a 3/3 and I have a 2/4, and so they're going to bounce off each other. And okay, I'm going to attack the first time and they bounce off and we move on. But now I'm going to do it again and now your creature dies. I don't love those types of effects. I think this is going to be a lot harder to get going because how often are there going to be 3 or more creature cards going into graveyards from anywhere in one turn? And it has to be on your turn as well. It can't be your opponent's turn. I don't love this one. I won't lie. We have another case with Case of the Stashed Skeleton. 1 in a black for a case, enchantment case. When this case enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 black skeleton creature token and suspect it. To solve it, you control no suspected skeletons. And then once it is solved, you can tap 1 in a black, sack the case, and search your library for any card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. I think this case is fine. Basically, you make a 2/1, and similar to what we were talking about with the Barbed Servitor, you just attack with it every single turn. It has Menace, firstly, so it'll be harder to block. But second of all, they don't want to block it, because then your case will be solved when they kill it, because it has 1 toughness. So unless you have a 0-powered creature, and I should say 2 0-powered creatures, because it will have Menace, your skeleton will die, and then your case will be solved. But then you still have to tap 2 mana. You still have to sack this case at sorcery speed. It's got to be on your turn. And it lets you look for any card out of your deck. In limited, typically, what are they called? Tutor effects are not great. The nice thing is, because it is so cheap and you get benefits of like, okay, I'm just going to turn my skeleton sideways every single turn. If you're taking 2 damage, awesome. If you're killing it, fine. And then this can sit on the battlefield until I'm like, wow, maybe you're losing. And you're like, wow, I could really use this card right now. Well, easy enough. Spend 2 mana and you can go get that card that you need, right? You play to your outs. And so you know what card you need. Go get it.
So before you move to the next
Please.
line of cards, I just want to go back to the Gorgon's Kiss card. Because all that does is make me want Vraska to be in this set.
There's rumor she will be in the next one.
So there's no Sorin in this set, even though we've got his less cool friend down here. I think he's more cool, but that's just me.
Well, you don't like Sorin, so that makes sense.
But I mean, Vraska looks gorgeous here. I mean, it's just her silhouette, but I mean, you can see the tight midi dress. I love those midi dresses.
It's not Vraska.
And then with the spikes on the shoulders, awesome.
Look, there's literally
get me that dress.
There's literally a Gorgon right here that's not Vraska.
That doesn't even look like a Gorgon, okay?
She doesn't even go here.
Exactly. Like, this isn't even her school.
Amazing. Wow. Okay. Let's do... Can we finish? Oh, God. There's so many cards in this set. Shut up out there. Sorry, there was a loud vehicle going by. We'll do a few more. Obviously, we're playing Marcus tonight in some Magic on Arena, so I want to make sure that we have enough time for that. But, yeah, we can do at least one more row, and then we'll kind of reassess. We've got Cerebral Confiscation. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Choose 1. Target opponent discards 2 cards, or target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and they discard that card. For 3 mana, this card's bad. I don't like it. It's Mind Rot, right? Is 3 mana. They discard 2 cards. So this gives you the choice to, like, steal a card from them instead. Or, not steal, like you don't take it, but take a card out of their hand specifically instead. And you get to, like, look at their whole hand in the process. I still don't like it. I think it's a bit of a waste of mana. I don't love Mind Rot to begin with.
Means you watch too much TV.
Why? Mind Rot? Nice. Clandestine.
That movie theater manager.
yeah, the surveillance monitor.
He now has an excuse for not doing any work. He's got mind rot. He watches too much TV.
He stares at the screens for too long. Clandestine Meddler is 2 and a black for a 3/2 vampire rogue. When it enters the battlefield, suspect up to one other target creature you control. And then whenever one or more suspected creatures you control attack, surveil 1. So this, out of all of white, all of blue, and some of black, this is the first card we've seen that cares about suspected. Like, gives you a benefit for having one of your creatures be suspected. Like I said, I don't think suspect is that good of a mechanic, but... or at least in this set. I think they could have done a lot more with it, and they really didn't. This card is again a 3/2. I hate that stat line. It's super annoying. You get to suspect one of your creatures. It could be this one. And you get to surveil 1 whenever one of them attacks. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not great. I do not think I looked at the art for Deadly Cover-Up. That is really gross.
Yeah.
That is really gross. Oh my god.
Do you think she knows what that thing looks like?
Oh, behind, like I don't know. She's looking at an apple, it looks like, right?
Yeah, but it almost seems like this creature is a creature she knows quite well.
Maybe. I don't remember what the card does, so maybe once we read it, it'll make a little bit more sense. But it's 3 black for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you can collect evidence 6, which is not easy to do. Don't forget, you need mana value 6 or greater in your graveyard at the time that you cast this. Destroy all creatures.
Wow.
If evidence was collected, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. Then search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles and then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way.
I just thought of the quote from one of the Batman movies where he was just like, some men just want to watch the world burn.
Oh, I see. Sure, because you just, yeah.
Destroy all creatures.
Yep. So, I mean, board wipes are important. 5 mana is fine. There's a 4 mana white board wipe. This is a 5 mana black board wipe. And then if you're collecting evidence, you can do the surgical extraction thing and, basically remove that creature from existence in every version of it ever.
I mean, I feel like you would want to if that creature was standing right behind you. Yeah.
That aspect of it is much more a constructed thing. Like, if you're getting rid of a Clandestine Meddler, there is maybe a small chance that they have a second one in their deck, but there will not be more than 2 if it's an uncommon, and there will likely not be more than 3 if it's a common, even in draft. And if it is it that good? I don't know. If it's a rare or a mythic, there's almost no chance they have a second one. So for limited purposes, destroy all creatures is still super important. You just don't collect evidence 6, you tap 5, you destroy all creatures, and you move on. That's fine. Card's still good. Would I first pick it? I don't think so. It obviously, it's double black, so you'd have to be doing a little bit more than splashing for it. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. It's a good card. Don't get me wrong. I'm just debating whether I would first pick it. And I don't think I would. Extract a Confession is 1 and a black for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may collect evidence 6 again. Right? So the last card just said collect evidence 6. This one says collect evidence 6. If you have both of them in your deck, to be able to play both and collect evidence for both of them, you have to have 12 mana value of cards in your graveyard. And they'd have to be able to split that way. Because if you have it all in, one of them is 4 mana, right? You might have a split where you're doing 7 and 5, and that doesn't help you if you need to collect evidence 6 twice. Doesn't work that way. Anyway, each opponent sacks a creature. If evidence was collected, instead, each opponent sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. Now, notably, If you have a creature with hexproof or ward or something like that, this doesn't help. Because even if it's just they sack a creature, if it's the only one they have, they sack it regardless. You're not targeting the creature. And if they sack a creature with the greatest power, even if that creature with the greatest power has ward, you don't have to pay the extra cost because you're not targeting it. It just does exist as the creature with the greatest power, and so it has to be killed or sacrificed. That's just how it works. Trust me, the only reason I mention it is because I ran into that multiple times this weekend. Not because I thought that it did work that way, but it's annoying because you're like, oh, my creature's safe, and then like sack a creature. And you're like, oh, my creature's not safe. Like, it's, it's a good card for that reason. It's just annoying, that's all. Fester Leech. I just wanted to talk about this one because, yeah, it's cool. I think we'll do this last row, and then we can go to Marcus and play some Arena. Because we've got 3 rares after it that I want to be able to talk about. But look at this Leech.
Yeah, it's huge.
Do you like it?
It's been sucking a lot of blood. I guess it's drinking all the blood of all the pigeons.
It's a zombie Leech.
Oh.
So it's eating their brains, I guess. But it's 1 black mana for a 1/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you mill 2 cards. Now, you have to do that. It's not a may. You must do that. For 1 and a black, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You can activate it only once each turn. So you can play it for 1, and the next turn, if you attack with it, you can make it a 3/3 automatically. 4 dead in zombie leech attack, dozens nauseated, is a 10th District Times headline.
Nah, this would be my pets. Liliana uses dead people, and I use this zombie leech to kill birds.
To kill birds. Now that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. All right. Next, we have Homicide Investigator. 1 and a black for a 2/2 human detective. Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control die, investigate. This triggers only once each turn. Not bad. Not bad at all. 2 mana 2/2. Bear with upside. Very nice. And then once per turn, if one of your creatures dies, you investigate. And that could be on your opponent's turn as well. So, really, really nice.
I mean, her outfit is an upside, but she looks more like a pirate than she does an investigator.
Sure.
But, yeah, love the outfit.
Me too. Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, if this happens on your opponent's turn, right, like you block with something, even if you chump block, and one of your creatures dies, you still have the opportunity to, if you have 2 mana, sack that clue at the end of their turn. So, that's really good. I like that. The Hunted Bone Brute is 2 and a black for a 6/2 skeleton beast with menace, and it's a rare. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent makes 2 1/1 dogs. And when this thing dies, each opponent loses 3 life. And you can play it face down for 3, flip it face up for 2. Now the benefit because of disguise, the benefit for doing that is when it flips face up, it doesn't enter the battlefield.
Okay.
So it has already entered the battlefield when you play it face down. It is the same entity when it flips up. So it is not entering the battlefield. It just changes form, right? And so at that point, then they will not make 2 1/1 white dogs. Because the problem is, if they make 2 1/1 white dogs, and then you attack, like, your creature has menace, but that just means they can block with 2 creatures. And if they block with 2 dogs, your 6/2 is dead. You'd much rather be able to have a 6/2 for 3 mana, or 3 and then 2, I guess. So on turn 4, you could have a 6/2 that they have to block with 2 creatures. And they don't give them 2 dogs. And if they still eventually find a way to kill it, they still lose 3 life. But you don't have to give them the method to kill your creature by giving them 2 dogs. Just saying.
This just looks like a dinosaur.
It's a skeleton beast, so it could be a dinosaur. Sure.
They got it out of a museum.
And it's being hunted by the museum dogs?
I think the dogs are its friends.
It's it's literally called hunted, and the dogs are the ones hunting it.
Oh, I thought it was referring to it had been hunted, which is why it's a skeleton now.
Oh, that's an interesting point. So in Magic, when a creature...
I just assumed that.
No, in Magic, when a creature is hunted, typically what that means is that as the creature comes into play, you give your opponent the creatures that are hunting it. And that's how it's hunted. Now, for the most unsettling artwork in the entire set.
I keep on staring at it because I can't. I just can't.
It is, and honestly, from the big opening that we did, the high value opening that we did on the channel, which has many, many views, and thank you all so much for the support. Please feel free to check it out if you haven't already. We opened over $2,000 of the set, so go check that out. A case of play boosters and a case of collector boosters. Like I said, it was many, many packs of cards.
Yes.
But this is... Oh, and I should say, when we did that big opening, the art card for this art is so much worse than this. Like, you look at this art and you're like, oh, wow, that's a little weird. The art card is so much worse.
Really? Worse than this?
I think so.
Oh, boy.
I think so. It's because it's like bigger, it's wider.
Oh, but it's the same picture.
It's the same art. I just mean like seeing it as an art card, and like that's all you're looking at. It's so much more unsettling that way. That's just my feeling on it. Maybe people disagree, but like,
because you're looking in the mirror and that's what you see.
Yeah, it's very unsettling. So anyway, our last card that we'll review today is 3 and a black for an enchantment with flash, Illicit Masquerade. When it enters the battlefield, put an imposter counter on each creature you control. Whenever a creature you control with an imposter counter on it dies, exile it, and return up to one other target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is very cool. Notably, you will have to have other creatures in your graveyard already for this to make sense. Obviously, you can do Surveil and things like that to be able to help you get to that point. So that if you're surveilling and you see a creature and you want that creature, put it in your graveyard. Because then the next time one of your creatures on the battlefield that has an imposter counter on it dies, you will get your better creature back. This is in a very interesting way. I mean, it's 4 mana with flash, but it's a very interesting way to do some reanimator nonsense.
Yeah.
So, really, really cool. So that's going to be it for our set review portion of the evening. Marcus, if you're still out there, please let us know. And we can get started with this game.
Brawl.
Yeah. Let's go back to this point really quickly so that I can pull up Arena here for everyone to look at. But hi, everybody. It's us. Don't forget, while we're setting this up, please don't forget that... okay, Marcus is still here. Perfect. Thank you, Marcus. We're loading into Arena now. You should be able to challenge us momentarily. Don't forget, everybody, we will be back on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of our playthrough of God of War Ragnarok, which we have been playing through on our Friday streams. That's still at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel, so stay tuned for that for sure. Here we are. We made it, Marcus. You can challenge us whenever you are ready. I'm just going to get rid of some of my email nonsense and check the store and see if there's anything relevant there for a second.
Unless it never loads.
Yeah, that's a problem as well. Oh. Hey, look. Azorius sleeves. It's, in fact, all of the Ravnica sleeves.
We don't have these already?
I guess not this style. We probably have a different style. Do you want your Gruul sleeves or no?
Those do look cool, but I don't know how necessary it is, honestly.
Fair enough. Okay.
It's pretty basic, and I don't necessarily want to waste resources on that.
That's fair.
I'd rather spend the resources on sleeves that are, like, really cool arts, you know?
Fair enough.
It says can't challenge. It shows it.
I'll challenge you. Match 60 card. Do we have... Oh, Friendly Brawl. There we go. Best of 1 and coin flip. Sure. Angry face. All right, let's challenge Marcus.
He hit play, so... It should work, hopefully.
And hopefully I did the right format. We shall say, play! Hell yeah!
Okay.
Perfect.
Marcus of Zolfair.
That's right. Let's do it. We will play some Brawl to end off the night and see what we get. Soul of Windgrace is going to be fun. Do you remember Soul of Windgrace?
No.
Okay. Do you remember at least like what it looks like or anything?
No.
No? It's the big cat avatar thing.
The big cat avatar thing.
Oh, he's playing Tovolar instead. Dire Overlord.
Oh.
It's a
Gruul deck.
It's a Gruul deck for you, Amy. 3, 4, 3, 5. We have 3 land? Sure, why not? I'll keep it. Campus. Temple of Abandon. Scry 1, keep it on top. Ooh, Shadow Spear. Second land means we could play this, but I don't want to. I'm going to play Shadow Spear. And pass. I can't see that. There we go.
I was like, why does he keep going like this?
Yeah, the speaker's in the way of my of the pass button. Kessig Naturalists. When it attacks, he can add red or green, and he doesn't lose that mana for the rest of the turn. Very nice. The Axgard Armory enters tapped. Do we need a third land right now? We do, because we need the relic, right? Because I'm not going to kick it. I need the mana. So, I could do Akiri. I guess I could do Akiri next turn. Or do I do Akiri this turn and then the relic next turn? Yeah, I think that's what I do. Okay, let's try that. But Akiri's a decent blocker against the Naturalist. That, you know, it's when it attacks that he gets the mana for it. Here's Tovolar. It's a 3/3 that whenever a wolf or a werewolf he controls deals combat damage to me, he draws a card. At the beginning of his upkeep, if he controls 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night, and then he can transform all the werewolves. Whenever a wolf or werewolf he controls deals combat damage to me, he draws a card, and then he can give wolves or werewolves +X/+O and trample until end of turn. Okay. Tapped unless we control a mountain or a plains. So this would be our 4th land. So we could play Halvar if we want. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control. Or attached to a creature you control to target creature you control. Interesting. Card from a graveyard. We don't have any yet. So I could play Winota. I could attack with this and try to get a human. But I still won't. Not this turn. We'll play her. Why is the power and toughness of this covered? So weird. Why?
Oh, I don't know. That's awkward.
Roiling Regrowth, sacking a land to go get 2 more lands. Very nice. Good turn. Thankfully, we... 2 snow-covered mountains. Okay. Flumph!
Put that on my Nutter Butter sandwich.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. I would never eat you, Flump. You're so cute.
Let's... Let's play this now, without kicker, and then let's equip this now, here. It's a 4/4 lifelink trample. I draw, and then whiff. God damn it.
She always whiffs.
Classic. Alright, fine.
Every time.
Damn it, Winota. All right, so now it's possible that Winota dies here, but we have a way of getting her back. So let's see. Winota does not yet die here. Could still be Burn. Tovolar's Huntmaster, 6/6, and 2/2/2 wolves. God damn, that's scary. Okay. Well, +1 so indestructible and haste, eh? And I get to choose 2. 3 damage to any target. Target player gains 3. Okay. Let's do that. Combat. Attack, please. Alright, draw a card. And... Ooh. Haktos.
Hack those toes right off.
3, of which Tovolar is 3. Am I still doing it? +1 so indestructible and haste. Do I do it? I think... Oh, no. I just do this. Kill it. Gain 3. He takes 4. We gain 4. I could flash that in. But I don't need to do that right now. Okay. Very good. I guess I can play this. Enters untapped, which means we now have 3 mana available. Or 5 mana. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's play Halvar.
But we don't know what its power and toughness are.
I know. Very, very, very strange. I don't know why it's like that. Weird.
Art's very sick, though.
Yeah, of course. Ranger class. He makes another wolf. And then... Not my Shadow Spear. Otherwise, I can search my library for a basic. Oh no, that's only if it's a land? Nope, I still get to basic. Cool. Planes, please. I don't have any on the field right now. Regular planes, at least. Submit. Thank you. Pass to attackers.
He's got wolves. Maybe he's playing with Voja.
I wish. Voja's a great card. Okay. He's a human warrior, and he's just a god. So, okay.
Just a god.
Yeah, just a god. Sack it to search for an equipment. That's a lot of mana, though. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I just have to get an equipment that costs 3, right? But then I won't have, like, Lorehold command and stuff. Huh. I could just attack with Haktos, right? So, yeah, let's try that. Let's go get an equipment. Oh, Embercleave. Jesus. Oh, Maul of the Skyclaves is definitely the choice. Silly me. Oh, and it's got 3. Amazing. Maul of the Skyclaves on Haktos.
Haktos got a hack.
I'm not going to do that. Cancel. That's very good.
It's really more of like a mushing, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
A crunching underneath it.
Decline to do that. And then I attack with Haktos because I have to. And that's going to be it. I know he's a human, but I do draw a card. That's fun. And he takes 8. Oh, nope. He goes to 1. He takes 16.
Oh my gosh.
Because thanks to Halvar, Haktos is double strike.
That's pretty good. I love double strike.
I agree. Leave Haktos alone. I would say he's done nothing to you, but that's a blatant lie.
Haktos brought him to 1.
Okay. Submitted. We drew Rip Apart. 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. I mean, I guess I could just do the right thing and just attack with Haktos and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Look, sometimes Haktos is on the battlefield and is really good. That's just what it does. Marcus, thank you for the game. I don't know if you're back yet, but when you come back, I will say it again as well. I will happily do that again if you're interested.
I was going to say, do you want to play him a second time?
I would love to, as long as he's cool with it. We have plenty of time to do so.
I'm just going to pee real quick before you start then.
Oh, before I start? Okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, that sucked, GG. Marcus, good game to you as well. I'm very sorry.
You're the best, Marcus.
Amy says you're the best. I'm sure you heard that. We would love to play you again. We can. I'm going to wait and open a couple of packs. So if you want to pick a different deck or if you want to try the same deck, entirely your call. Does not matter to me. But I'm going to open a couple of packs while we wait for Amy to come back, and then when she comes back, we can challenge you again and try again. Oh, we only have a couple of packs to open. Okay. One Lost Caverns of Ixalan pack. I'll play again. Perfect. Petrify is a good card. I like it. Obviously, Envoy is a good card. We got a Cavernous Maw, which apparently is our first one. A C-Note Scout. And our rare or mythic is... Boo! It's a rare wild card. Let's get a Dominaria Alchemy pack. Okay, so we know a lot of these, but the alchemy ones. We have Goblin Morale Sergeant, 1 and a red for a 2/1 haste enlist. Reminder for enlist, and it's really more for me than anyone else. As this creature attacks, you can tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature's power. Great. But it says whenever it enlists a non-token creature, you can conjure a duplicate of that creature into the top 5 cards of your library at random. The duplicate perpetually gets +1/+0 and haste. Wow. Okay. And then Pull of the Mist Moon is 1 white for an enchantment with a kicker of 1 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this leaves. So it's an Oblivion Ring. And then when it says when it enters, if it was kicked, choose a non-land permanent in your hand, and it perpetually gains when this permanent enters the battlefield. Exile target non-land permanent. Wow. You just turn something in your hand into an Oblivion Ring in addition to this Oblivion Ring. That's gross. Wow. Okay. That seems very strong. And then our rare or mythic is Slimefoot, Thallid Transplant, black-green for a 2/2 legendary fungus. Whenever a swamp or a forest enters the battlefield under your control, draft a card from its spell book. And obviously it's got a lot of the fungus creatures that we've seen in recent years. And there are 15 of them. Oh, Verdant Force. Okay, Verdant Embrace, Spore Swarm, and Sapling Mega. Okay, nice. Not bad at all. Let's open some of the Ixalan ones. We've got Ribald Shanty, which is 1 and a red for an instant chorus. Starting intensity of 2, this spell deals damage equal to its intensity to target creature or planeswalker, and then all chorus cards you own intensify by 1. So obviously that's in your deck, in your graveyard, in your hand, whatever. Very cool. So obviously if you have 4 of these, the 4th one that you play would be 6 damage. And it's target creature or planeswalker, so interesting. There's a Landlore Navigator, which is 1 and a blue for a 2/1. When it attacks, make a map token. And then at the beginning of your end step, if 2 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, conjure a card named Thieving Magpie onto the battlefield. Okay, so it lets you draw cards. Obviously, if you play 1 artifact and then attack with this thing, which makes a map, which is an artifact, that would be a way of getting 2 artifacts. And then our...
You know, my zombie leech would eat that thieving magpie.
And then our last rare or mythic is a Scale Speaker Shepherd. Look at the size of the dinosaur next to this human druid. Very cool.
Yeah.
2 and a green for a 2/1 human druid. When it enters the battlefield, draft a card from its spellbook, and then dino spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And so there are 15 cards. They are all dinosaurs, and they are all really awesome dinosaurs. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Zakama.
Every one of them.
Right? Okay. All right, Marcus. I guess I'll challenge you again the same way I did before. Nope. Wrong one. Friendly brawl. We did it. Coin flip. Best of one. Sure. And like I said, Marcus, please feel free to use a different deck if you would like, or the same one, whatever you choose. I don't have strong feelings either way. But we shall see.
I do, because I'm Gruel. But that's okay. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I did not click play. There we go. We're ready.
It's a mysterious figure from Zulfir.
Who approaches? Oh, God. Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's like it's a shadowy figure approaching. You don't know who it is until they show up. Ooh, Edgar. Charmed Groom. Where's Erica when you need her? We're playing against an Orzhov deck.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't think we can keep this hand. Hell no. 4-drop, 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 6-drop, 2 land. Free mulligan, please. That is the same hand.
Yeah, it is. What the F?
Wow, that sucks, man. Fine, I'll keep it. We at least have the Skyclave relic.
Oh my god, why would you keep that?
Because we need a 3rd land, then we'll have this, that'll be our 4th, so we have 4, 4, 4, and 4. We just need a 3rd land. In the next 2 turns, we need a single land. That's it. Replicating Ring also taps for mana. We need a single land. That's it. Mind Stone, very nice. That taps for mana. Can we have that? There's the land. We got there. Okay, good.
I mean, not really, because we still have to wait till turn 4 to play anything.
It's all right. I was about to say he hasn't played anything yet either, but I didn't say it, and yet it still happened.
You thought it, though.
Of course I thought it. You can't make me not think, Amy.
Why?
Because.
So just stare at the screens. You'll get the mind rot.
The mind rot, that's right. Oh, no. No. So this says, whenever one or more other creatures with power 2 or less enters, draw a card only once each turn. Okay. So he's going to get a vampire, revealing it, shuffling it, putting it on top, and then he's going to draw it immediately with that, and it's Maverick Fane.
Oh.
Whenever one or more non-token vampires you control attacks, make a 1/1 vampire. Okay. We drew another land, which we knew we were going to draw. I guess I'm just going to play... We have a 2/4. He doesn't have flying. Great. We can't kill the Welcoming Vampire with that. Can we kill Mavrin? We can. I think I want to play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next turn we can play this. But for now... What do you do? What do you do? X damage to target tapped creature. Perfect. Amy, we get to play Nahiri.
Yeah, stained glass Nahiri.
That's right. 1, 2, 3. And kill it. What does she do again? As long as it's your turn, creatures you control have first strike and equip abilities you activate cost 1 less. Hell yeah, they do.
Marcus said nice to us.
Oh, I didn't notice. I'm sorry, Marcus. Thank you. Dracula, the Voyager, a.k.a. Edgar. Oh no, +1/+1 until end of turn. She's dead. Sorry, Nahiri. Thanks for letting me kill that annoying flyer. What does he do? Other vampires you control get +1/+1. When he dies, return to the battlefield transformed. Okay.
That's supposed to be Edgar?
Well, it's Dracula.
Oh.
That's why. It's the alt art version.
Oh.
Or the, like,
I was like, that shit don't look like Edgar.
Like the Godzilla cards that are just reskinned. It's that.
He's a bat.
Yeah, kind of.
And the other one.
Can we do this? We can, right? Yeah, with the kicker. Perfect.
Not the other version of the art, but the token art. Or whatever. The casket.
Yeah. Okay, so we only have 1 mana now. Why is it? Oh, it's his turn. Got it. Good. Maverick Fane. One of his creatures gets +1/+1. We're going to take 8 damage this turn, but I think we can keep battling back from this, I think. More vampires. More pluses. Okay. It's a little scary, I won't lie. But... okay, that's fine. Put a night counter. If it has 8 or more, I don't know if we're going to get there. It's only a 1/2? That's frustrating. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Now this says when it dies, return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. At the beginning of your upkeep, make a 1/1 vampire with lifelink and put a bloodline counter on it. Then if there are 3 or more bloodline counters on it, remove those counters and transform it. Damn. Okay. Let's go with Mangara the Diplomat. We have 6 more mana. We have Winota. Justice Strike is an instant. Pass. This is tough. I think we're in like a decent position. He gains life and draws a card. Very nice, very nice. You know what? He's tapped out. Let's kill Mavrin Fane now. While I have the opportunity. Bye, Mavrin Fane. Forerunner of the Legion is very annoying, but it shouldn't be a problem. Veto! It's annoying.
Yeah.
Whenever he gains life, we lose that much life, and then for 5 mana, his creatures can have lifelink until end of turn. 4 mana to play legendary things. I think I'm going to do this trade. I need to get rid of this creature. It worked! Hell yeah, I'm going to put it in the command zone. Anyways. Twilight Prophet.
Oh.
And I draw a card. Thank you. Blade Historian, though. Attacking creatures you control have double strike. Okay. Let's play this. Let's play... Top 6 warrior or equipment. Put it into your hand. Or she deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of the equipment you control. I don't control any equipment right now. It's a 2/3, so 1/2. Sure, I'll play this first. We have 7 mana available, so I can also play Winota. So why don't I play Winota? I'm not attacking with Mangara. No, no, no. If you have the City's Blessing, which he does, reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X and you gain X, where X is that mana value. And of course, he revealed a Swamp, which he will play. So thankfully, we didn't lose any life and he didn't gain any life. He has exiled Mangara the Diplomat. Unfortunate, because that was it was helping us quite a bit. Lifelink on everything, which means as we lose a bunch of life, he will gain a bunch of life.
Wait, I thought he had diplomatic immunity. We're supposed to kill him.
7... Oh, we die if we don't block this.
Ooh.
Great. So we actually have to do this. Damn. That's super frustrating. Okay. He gains 3, thanks to Veto. Wait. Yeah, okay. I was like, why didn't it happen? But, okay. Yeah, we're super screwed here. Sacred Fire, 2 damage to any target, and you gain 2 life. That's not enough to kill Veto. Which means we're probably just dead now, I think. Oh, it's got flashback for 6. That's a really annoying way to have to do that, but sure. Oh, but we're just dead, though. Because the flyer kills us. Oh, we gain life this way, right? So Veto's only a 1/3?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. 2 damage here. And we gain 2. 2 damage here and we gain 2. And we can still play the Savior, huh? Hell yeah. I should have so much mana.
I guess Erica didn't renew our flood insurance.
No, we wanted this much this time.
Well, yeah. It's just a happy coincidence that we actually wanted it.
Okay. Okay. We are at 8. He is at 29. He's going to sack it to draw a card. That makes sense. What else? This is tough. So this is a human. So Winota is doing nothing for us unless we make a core, but we still can't attack with it that turn. We drew Seize the Spoils. Discard a card, draw 2, and make a treasure. Are we going to discard Nahiri here? Sorry, Amy.
No, we played the other one.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
Good. Draw 2, make a treasure. Zariel and a land. Okay. Let's play Zariel. What does training do again? Attacks with another creature with greater power. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay. Let's make a devil. Oh. Zariel died. It's fine, actually. Exile to one other target creature from the battlefield or a creature card from a graveyard. Okay. Sure, we can get rid of Veto, I guess. Combat. Attack with both. They both have double strike. And I'm going to use the training to steal Veto.
Yeah.
So basically, if and when Savior of Allenbach leaves... Oh, he's just sacking it. Okay. Even better, actually. Because then it doesn't have a chance to come back. If he blocks, he doesn't gain the life, right? Because first strike kills before the lifelink, before the damage would happen. But he's sacking it as well. Okay, cool. Gains a life and draws a card. And then he's going to take 8 here from 31. Oh, right. No, this got blocked, I guess. So that's fine. Do we play this? No, I don't think we do. We end our turn. What happens? At 8 or more, remove all of them and create 8 colorless snow artifact tokens named Replicating Ring. Wow. Okay. Nighthawk Scavenger. So yeah, in 2 turns, we're going to have 8 more mana producers.
Wow.
Ooh. 3 damage to any target, and we gain 3 life. Yes, please. Goodbye. None of that. You can sack it. We won't gain the 3 life, but it gets it off the battlefield, and that's what I really wanted, because that's really annoying.
We're going to have so much land, we could build a house out of mud.
Well, these aren't technically considered land, but otherwise, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
And I'll take rings instead. Because we could pawn that.
Okay. You may exile any... X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain X life. The Savior of Allenbach dies. That is fine, actually. Totally fine. There were no exiled cards, so it goes away. We can play Winota. Auto pay with all of our mana, including our treasure.
No.
And then we go to combat, swing with both, and we get to whiff. God damn it. Winota. Fine, take 2.
She's got to keep her streak, Joe.
It happened. It's true. Mm-hmm. All right, we're at 11. Cruel Celebrant. Whenever it or another creature or planeswalker dies, we lose a life, they gain a life. Okay.
I may have asked this, but why is she celebrating in what appears to be a nightgown?
I mean, it's her gown. It's the wedding. She's at the wedding. Edgar and Olivia's
she
wedding.
looks like she's wearing a nightgown.
Sure.
Like a sleep dress.
I mean, I get it. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and play Haktos.
Yeah, hack the toes.
Protection from 3, or everything but 3. And he has a 2 and a 4 on the battlefield now. Mm-hmm. Good. Let's sack this and go get an equipment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Means we should get Embercleave?
That sounds good.
No, we already have Double Strike, actually.
No.
Maul the Skyclave? Shadow Spear? It's probably just Maul the Skyclave. This card's incredible. let's do that for now. Maul of the Skyclaves comes in. Flying in first strike on this devil. Go to combat.
That just looks like a dude.
It's a devil from Zariel.
Oh, I see it now, yeah.
Ooh! Brutal Cathar. Exiling the Cruel Celebrant. If he sacks it, he sacks it. But if we targeted Edgar/Dracula, he would sack it and it would die and then it would go over to the side and be annoying. Anyway, it's fine. That kills Dracula, though. That's good. A good sign. Double strike. Perfect. So then it goes to the side. We know this. Transformed. I might as well... We have the mana for it. Okay, we have 7 replicating rings over here still.
Wow.
I'm going to put this on Haktos.
The ring?
Equipped.
Or the maul?
The maul is going on to... equipped onto Haktos.
So it's a very pretty ring for him.
Yeah. Drana, Amy.
Awesome.
Amy loves Drana.
She's fucking sick.
Yeah, she's really cool. I play this card in one of my decks. It's a very good card, actually. Like a very, very good card. Ooh, speaking of Drana and Linvala.
Yeah.
I drew a Temple of Triumph, which lets me scry. Putting the land on the bottom so that if I attack with the devil this turn, I can... this is 4 and this is 5. If I attack with the devil this turn, I can hopefully find a human off the top. I did not, even though I dug even further down with that scry.
Only a little.
God damn it, man. That's hilarious.
She always whiffs.
That's hilarious. I'm going to get rid of this command tower because I can. It really doesn't matter. He's got plenty of mana. I'm just doing it because I need something to do with my turn. Besides keep up this patented Geek for All hand land.
Do you think he knows?
I'm sure he does. Marcus is one of our longest viewers. I'm sure he knows. Okay. He's at 11. We're at 9. We really battled back.
Yeah, we really did.
Sorry, he's at 10. We're at 9. We really battled back. Let's go ahead and put this on the Brutal Cathar. It's a 4/4 first strike flyer. And we can pass. It's nighttime. It's a 5/5 first strike flyer. He drew a land, which he played. He's going to gain a life and draw a card. Makes sense. Makes sense. He's back to 11. Now, if he attacks with both here, what does this do? Oh, it's on attacks, huh? Here, Aki. That one. Submit. Drana says when she attacks, I have to choose a non-legendary creature in his graveyard. He brings it back to the battlefield with an additional counter on it.
Okay.
And it's a vampire in addition to its other types. He sacked it to gain a life and draw a card, though. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm still going to block with the Moonrage Brute. That's why I'm doing it.
Collector Invest is here, saying I am a multi-collectibles investor.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Does that? I guess that includes Magic the Gathering. Otherwise, why would that be what you'd be talking about? So that's fine. Hi, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
What other kinds of things do you collect? That's cool. Collect and or invest in. Elenda. Do we steal Elenda? No, we'll steal Drana and Linvala, I guess. She dies. Elenda gets to do a thing. Okay. Put a counter on her. Very good. We drew Thalia. It's an interesting one. Oh, we don't have any more non-humans. God damn it. It's fine. Let's go ahead and equip the Maul to Haktos. Go to combat. Attack for 8 with Haktos. Boom. Down to 6. And then this gives first strike as well. Let's put it back on the Cathar. And end the turn.
Okay.
Okay, Edgar's back. Daddy's home.
Granddaddy.
Yeah, very, very nice. Ah, speaking of which, whose granddaddy is he? Soren's. Okay, making a vampire? No. +1/+1 lifelink. Oh, of course. Because now he gets to gain a fair bit of life. That makes sense. Okay, well. Let's go like this and like this and see what happens. One card in his hand. Might be a little scary. We'll see.
Granddaddy Markov. That should just be what you call him now.
Yeah.
Granddaddy Markov. I like it.
All right, so our Brutal Cathar has first strike. So right now in this exchange, it kills Dracula/Edgar before he would gain the life. And so instead, he's getting rid of the Maul of the Skyclaves, exiling it, in fact.
Okay.
And so both of our creatures die. One of his dies. I will move her to the command zone. Thank you for asking. She gets a lot of counters and makes a lot of... Or no, she doesn't get counters. Or yeah, I guess she does. And then makes a lot of vampires. Moth Rider Patrol that can tap stuff. Let's play Winota first. I think we have enough. Oh god, yeah, we do. We still have 9 mana. Okay, cool. Moth Rider Patrol. We don't have any more equipment, but he's at 15. We just kill Soren here with Haktos, because he can't be blocked. So we might as well. Soren dies, so there's no more of that life-linking nonsense, although all of them have lifelink inherently at this point, so that's a little annoying. But fine. I'm going to sneeze. Ugh. Okay.
Collector Invest, have you seen our opening videos for this set? Well, not this set, because we're playing Brawl now, but the new set.
Fair point. I was like, what do you mean? Yes, this set. But no, you're absolutely right. I was like about to...
It's not this.
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. I get what you're saying. We'll go like that and like that. We take 2. He gains 4. But he can sack the Thalia one because it doesn't do anything for him. Okay. A lot of life gain on his side. This is going to be tough. Not impossible, but tough. He's got better card draw than we do. And he's gaining a bunch of life. He's back up to 20 now. But he drew a land. That's a good sign. He can pay 2 to draw another card. Okay. We have the ability to tap stuff now. God damn it, man. I don't want this. I guess this gains me a life. Sure. Handland. They're all humans. Attack. This has 3. Okay. Haktos dies. We're running out of stuff. Oh. So I could tap it. Sure. I'll tap it.
Okay.
I could tap... It's... The thing is, like, if I saved the tapper, then he wouldn't be able to attack me with as much lifelink or whatever, but... I don't know.
Collector Invest says, I have 2 paintings worth 35 million each. 6 Black Lotus, 3 Mickey Mantles, 1952 tops, silver stuff, gold stuff, and other antiques. Total value 1 trillion.
Congratulations. Quite a collection.
I mean, I don't want to accuse you of making that up, but that's a lot for one person to have. So good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, for a lot of stuff, like, back in the day, right, you look at things and you're like, oh, wow, if only we'd known
sure.
then when it was more readily available. I mean, talk about Black Lotuses or just alpha and beta magic cards in general, like...
I got it ad by trading.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either, but...
But yeah, that's like, like I was saying, so like older cards and stuff like that are like, wow, if we'd known then, like if we knew that if you bought a box of Alpha for like $100 or whatever, like be real nice to have now for however many thousands of dollars it would cost. Enters tapped. I don't need it. Haktos has to attack. Obviously, he'll attack Sorin, but obviously he will die to the Markov Purifier if Marcus blocks with it, which he can do. They will trade. He'll gain 2 life and go to 20, and we end their turn. Okay. Yeah, this game has gotten a lot worse. He was winning originally, right? Then we fought back a fair bit, and now he has regained a fair bit of ground. And this is exactly why. This Vampiric Rites has brought him to where he is now, for sure. Really, really, really well done. Bartolome del Presidio. Nice use of new cards. Sack another creature or artifact to put a counter on it. He's doing the Skyclave Relic with the kicker, just like we did. Bartolome is here. Okay.
So Collector Invest says all. So they got it all
by trading. Okay, interesting. Okay, so Bartolome, what did it say? It's a god. In addition to its other types, put a counter on it. Okay, sure. We got the Shadow Spear. That sure is something, but not much. We're literally top decking everything because we don't have any card draw. So I will equip this to Thalia, I guess, to give lifelink and trample. But she's still a human, so we still don't get the Winota benefit from it. So I'll pass.
They said I traded 100,000 ounces of silver for a Black Lotus 5 years ago.
Cool.
Interesting. Collector Invest, please leave your pronouns in chat for me.
Oh, it's still the end of my turn. Okay. Fair.
Since you're a new viewer.
Casket of Native Earth. He'll be back soon. He's not here yet, but he'll be back soon. Reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to its mana value. It's a land, thankfully, because we are at 6 and we are not gaining more life anytime soon. Although, obviously, if we block with Thalia, we do, but or I guess attack with her. A third Sorin. Oh, man. This turned around real hard, real fast. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. With a Thirsting Bloodlord. That's unfortunate. Okay. What else? 4 damage to any target and you gain 4 life. There's not much I can do about that. Thalia's dead. He's at 25. Swinging with, I would say just Bartolome would be my guess. No, nothing at all. All right. I'll take my turn. Come on, something off the top. That ain't it.
One ring for another ring.
Yeah. Well, no, this is just a signet thing for like the back of a hand or whatever. No, interestingly though, next turn, the ring will make 8 more copies of itself again. So we'll have 16 rings.
Okay. There you go, Collector Invest.
That's
16 rings. That's what we've collected.
That's not quite enough to cover all of your fingers and toes, so we still have some left over. Obviously no attacks. What the hell? End my turn. Let's see. Oh, I probably should have equipped, huh? Oh, well. Oh, no. What a throw. Put an indestructible counter on target god. That doesn't matter as much because we have the Shadow Spear, which can make Bartolome lose indestructible because it is the god-killing spear. So there's that. He gains life and draws a card. He does it again. You got it. Gains a life and draws a card. Very good. How many cards left in his library? 53. Jesus. Makes another 1/1, which is a 3/3, because Edgar is back. So all of his vampires get +1/+1. +2/+2, I should say. We lose nothing. It's another land. Wow. Got lucky the last 2 turns. Lucky. +2/+0 until end of turn to that life linking. Why that one? It's got summoning sickness. Why wouldn't you give it to Oh, because it's the only one with lifelink, but okay. All right. And it was a way to plus up Soren, I suppose, right? This one? Yes. Yep, okay.
He looks scary in that one.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not.
Oh, wow. Wow. Silver Quill Command. He's getting a creature back and making me draw a card and lose a life. Thanks, Marcus. But it was a land.
You should play... I was going to say you should play both of them just to show him what you have, but you can't play 2 lands in a turn.
But also he's killing me. So
yeah.
Because I forgot to equip. So actually I'm going to do this. And then... Can I do this when it's not equipped? I can, right? Oh. But
Spark.
But I could make it lose indestructible. Good game. He sacks it to put a counter. I mean, I'm very dead regardless. Yes, okay. Exiled. I would love to put it in my command zone for it to cost 14 mana. If I lived another turn, I'd have 16 rings. I'd be able to play it, so not a problem.
Thank you, Marcus.
God, what a game. What a game of Magic the Gathering. God damn, that was cool.
That was cool.
Very cool.
Greg says, yes, late night Joe. Smile face.
What's up, Greg?
Nice to see you.
Agreed.
And Collector Invest says, if I did selling collectibles, I have to pay tax. If I trade collectibles, don't have to pay taxes.
Fair point. Just equivalent value.
And Marcus says, well fucking played, Joe. Good game.
Oh, that was an incredible game. I would love to do that again, Marcus. One more time. Same decks if you'd like. That was really cool. I was saying while we were playing, it was like, you were ahead, then I was ahead, then you were way ahead. That was great. And that Vampiric Rites really was, I feel like, was your MVP. Well played as well. Great game. Absolutely loved it. I would love to play one more time.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly... If you want. If you don't worry about it. Not a problem at all.
That was pretty insane. Like, I mean, it was a roller coaster of a game. And it lasted a long time.
I loved it, truly.
Marcus says, again?
It's up to you. Like I said, please don't feel pressured. We got lots of weeks ahead. So we can absolutely do this some other time. But that was cool. I liked it.
It would be great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Greg would be happy about it since he just got here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's up to you, right? I don't, if people want to go to bed or you want to do something else, don't worry about it. We don't have to. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. I'll wait till I see you pop back in and then I'll challenge you. That's great.
I don't love this picture. It's very fake looking. Greg says, what's sleep? I missed a bunch of stuff. So Greg says, and Amy, of course. Thanks, Greg. It's okay. I'm aware that Joe's your favorite. I've accepted it. It's okay. Greg says, what's sleep? Who needs that? # my body hurts. Crap. Joe, you told her? Come on. ...
I didn't tell her a damn thing. She drew that conclusion all on her own.
A child knows when they're less loved. Greg.
Oh, that one. Oh, now you made me sad. You know what? This is a loose keep.
It's okay, Greg. I've had plenty of practice being the least loved child.
Again, I knew, that's why it was like, I got sad, but I knew why I was going to get sad.
Yeah. Because it's not you, Greg. It's fine.
Oh my god, Amy. Why? Flying
man.
Vigilance, Snowlands, non-creature spells. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to combat. Tap Magda. Make a treasure. Go to damage. And then play Redain? I kind of want... No, especially against this deck, I kind of want Valkmira. So... Throw the possibility would be discard 1 to draw 2. I don't think I'm at that point yet. So let's gain 3 and draw 1. Ooh, Prime Blade. Hell yeah. Oh, but to do it with a treasure feels bad. End the turn. We'll do it later. We can get another treasure next turn, and then another treasure, like... Whenever it deals combat damage to a player. Okay. So if he plays a blocker, this gives +1/+0, so she'd be a 3/1. Awkward. He draws a card and loses a life. I sack a creature. Damn it, Marcus.
Love that.
Fine, she dies. Whatever. 3 mana. I could actually probably just do this.
Greg says, did you give her the hug that I gave you for her?
I think so. Did I?
And Collector Invest says, my bones hurt. LOL.
Everybody's bones hurt.
I was going to say, I think everybody's does at this point. We're all old and falling apart.
All right, let's go ahead and ditch this to draw 2. Yeah, we got the land. Perfect. So we have red, white, white. So this will be red. Pass. Okay. We're getting there. We got the replicating ring. So we have a chance. 3 mana left. The Iron Crag. Okay. All right. 4 mana available for us. I think we're just going to do this. And then pass. Like I said, I want Redain. I want Valkmira. But I can do it without having to use this treasure. I can use the treasure to play Terror of the Peaks.
Ah, I like Terror of the Peaks.
It's a very good card.
Yes.
Yeah, spells that he controls that target it cost an additional 3 life to cast. And whenever any of my other creatures enter, this thing deals damage to that creature's power to any target, which is awesome. Because then I could play Adult Gold Dragon, kill this. Like, there's a lot of options. Pass to attackers. Take our turn. Replicating ring gets a counter. All right, do your thing, Amy.
Greg, I'm going to assume that's supposed to say woo.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. ...
Yeah. Don't kill it, Marcus. God damn it. Oh, in fact, sorry. He didn't kill it. He exiled it. There is a difference.
Yeah. They didn't kill Napoleon. They just exiled him to an island that he couldn't escape, and so they would never have to see him again.
Wow. All right. Flying Lifelink Haste doesn't do anything for us against that right now.
I was just thinking about Napoleon because I met someone named Napoleon today while I was running my errands.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was his name.
5 mana. If I can keep up 2, that means I need to tap 3. That doesn't really work the way I want it to. Fine, I'll just play Valkmira. I don't think that's a good play. But the nice thing is we have this, which I will use later to get rid of this. But yeah, Valkmira is a good card, which no, don't have something for it now.
Collector Invest says, ever eat Taco Bell with White Castle and Brussels sprouts? Man, don't you...
Don't. You would need 40
air fresheners. Is that what you've done? Because I feel like poor choices.
He was able to get rid of Valkmira immediately because he had the March of the Otherworldly Light and now has Dracula. Here is Soren.
I did it.
All right. We're going to take a lot of damage here, unfortunately. Fighting back from being a little short on mana is unfortunate. Thankfully, he doesn't have a fair bit of the card draw that he had previously in the last game. 3, 4, 5, 6 means we could cast something for 4, like Halvar, for example, and still keep up our 2. Oh, but of course now it doesn't matter, right? It's 5 damage. That really sucks. Really, really sucks. Okay. It's fine, though. Yeah. So there's some card draw, but not as much. The Vampiric Rites, not here yet. So something to be aware of, keep track of, etc. Here's the other Soren. So many Sorens.
And we don't have white castles by us.
That's true.
But when I was a kid, I used to get the frozen white castles. You heat them up in the microwave, and then, but if you heat them to the amount of time it says on the box to heat them, then the buns get hard as rocks. And then you're like breaking your teeth trying to bite the white castle.
Okay.
Still liked them though. My standards were low.
I don't have a way of killing this 6/7, so we're just going to lose to it. It's going to be a quick game. Yep. You know what? I needed land, so I shouldn't be upset, but we have drawn a lot of land in a row here. X damage. If it would die this turn, exile it instead. That's not enough. Okay. Halvar's a god? But we'd only have 3 mana left. Oh, but this'll work. This'll work.
Greg says, can you block?
Not a flyer. Oh, I guess if I played the Adult Gold Dragon, sure. But actually, this might work. So this Halvar is going to attack Soren. I'm going to get Theoden off the top.
Ooh.
Attacking the other Soren. And giving himself double strike, I guess? That makes sense, right?
Well, I mean, to hit Soren, though?
It doesn't matter. It's for the blockers.
Oh.
Because he's not going to let them die. Perfect. Okay, so here's what we do. Oh, can we do both? We can do both. God damn.
He says, and then hit it with the spell after the dragon.
So thankfully now we don't have to. We just do that,
Okay.
and then this, and our creatures live, and his die. What a sick turn.
Wow.
Holy crap. Wow. Oh, man.
Take that. Boom, Greg says.
Whew! That was really scary.
We're just playing Marcus, so it's not that scary, but still.
No, I mean, again, if he wins, he wins. But
Sure.
In terms of, like, trying to win the game, it's scary.
Love her outfit, too.
When Slaughter Specialist enters, each opponent creates a 1/1. Another human entered. One of my creatures gains double strike. How about Winota? I made a human. Thanks, Slaughter Specialist.
Greg says, take that. Good job, Winota. And then Collector Invest says, got him.
Yeah, that was a cool turn. That was a really cool turn. We used basically everything we had, but we can start getting Chandra on the field and ticking him up with emblems. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Drana. God damn, so many things. Okay. All right, so the flyers are getting in. Or the one flyer is getting in, if he wanted it to. We drew another land. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be 8. Our 8th land. The dragon, notably. Alright. Let's play Chandra here. Let's... What do we want to do? That's the question. Non-legendary. So he doesn't have any targets for Drana right now?
What I want to do is hang out with that guy. Because he looks like he's having fun.
could, to go to Greg's point,
Do we kill the 4/4, then swing?
we could. I would only swing with Halvar. The issue is then Chandra dies. Otherwise, I tick her up, and then I guess Chandra could still be killed, but we also don't know what human we're going to get next.
He can pump his team for the swing.
Yeah, I mean, I could also just kill...
It's hard to keep Chandra around.
Yes. I could also just kill everything but Drana, Winota, and Halvar and pass. And then actually swing with Halvar at Sorin, the 3 loyalty Sorin, and then see if he trades. Yeah, I'm going to try that. I think I do this first, right? Then, I'm going to go like this on this Sorin, because then when Noda triggers, we do hit a human. It's a double striking human who is now attacking the other Sorin.
Oh, no. Yes, but no.
And they both die.
Winota broke her streak of whiffing.
Oh, man. Now, Chandra can still die. It happens. He gets a creature back. It's going to be this one, I guess? Sure. It's not a flyer, so that's fine.
I was about to start calling her Whiffoda.
Very nice. Very, very nice. The other nice thing is, we're going to play this. We're going to attack with 2 creatures. I guess we can play this after. 2 non-humans. So trigger that twice. They both have double strike. One of them has lifelink. We get Brutal Cathar to steal the Slaughter Specialist. Oh my god, it's so gross. Okay, and she whiffed. There you go, Amy.
No.
It's fine. So he takes...
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah. He took 20, I think, just now. I'm going to play this, make a treasure. Holy crap.
Greg says, boom. Double strike. Bang.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of nonsense right there, and I love every second of it.
Sorry about your face. ...
Yeah. Oh, man. Exiling target monocolored permanent, which is Halvar. We drew Field of Ruin, which doesn't do much for us. We get another treasure, but we're going to go to combat. We're going to attack with the dragon, which will gain double strike. In fact, everything has double strike, right? So attack with everybody. Whiff! God damn it, Winota! It's fine.
Maybe she did what you did, Collector Invest. Maybe she ate the Taco Bell and the Brussels sprouts and the White Castle.
To keep whiffing?
No, because she got a whiff of her farts.
Nice.
Oh, you missed the guy with the smoke coming out of his ass.
Oh, in the set review? Yeah. All right, let's see what we can do. This is a fun one. Wow.
Oh?
Because the one that was giving +1/+1 died, all those other creatures died. I think he did the math similar to how I would have done it, or was doing it. Oh, shit. Wow. Wow. Oh, and it flipped, too. Okay. Oh, and he drew the Honored Heirloom. That's it. Tune in for another stream in the future, folks, because we're not doing this rubber match tonight. But if we, in fact, win, which I believe we are going to, but I don't want to be cocky about it. But if we do, yeah, we just get Maul the Skyclaves. Then, yeah, Marcus won the first, we won the second. We will have to see who wins the third. That was nuts, though. Holy crap. Put it on the werewolf. Go to combat. Swing with both of these non-humans. Get whiff on the first, don't whiff on the second. All of them are flyers. We go to combat, or we go to damage, I guess, and he goes to -4. Marcus.
Marcus, thank you, buddy.
Unbelievable game of Magic. 2 unbelievable games of Magic.
I thought it was 3, because there was a really fast one in the beginning.
But that was with his Gruul deck. I'm talking about this our Winota deck versus his Edgar deck specifically. Yeah. Really, really nice. Incredible games, Marcus. Incredible. Absolute pleasure. I told people, we'll leave it as a cliffhanger. You won game 1 in these 2 decks. We won game 2. Some other stream in the future, we will have to have the rubber match. That was incredible. Thank you so much for those games. Absolutely incredible. What a cool way to end the stream.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, folks, that is going to be the end of this particular stream. That was an absolute blast. So cool.
Nice, guys, Greg says.
Yeah, those were great games. Both of them were great games.
Yes.
And even the first one was fine. I mean, obviously, the Gruul deck not performing as well as the Orzhov deck did, but still.
Thank you. That was dope.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So thank you.
You are Marcus.
As a reminder for folks before everybody heads out, we will be back next Monday with more Magic the Gathering Arena. In fact, specifically, the new set, Murders at Karlov Manor. Not Markov Manor, as we keep messing up, even though we just played a bunch of Soren Markovs and Edgar Markovs. Murders at Karlov Manor comes out on Arena tomorrow. So next Monday, we will actually be able to get into the set for the first time on stream to actually play some games. So that's cool.
Collector Invest says, like the idea for Legendary Monkey.
Oh, because there was this up here.
C. Holland says, thanks for the stream.
Thank you, C. Holland.
So what Collector Invest said earlier that I guess I missed, I can't wait until Wizards makes a Legendary Monkey that makes poop tokens that sack deal 1 damage to player.
Oh, interesting. In fact, you know what that reminds me of? Hearthstone. There was the Hearthstone card that the monkey that when you play it, you get bananas, and then when you play the bananas, they give +1/+1 to something. So
nice.
Gives me same general vibes.
Greg says, you guys are awesome. Have a great night.
Thank you, Greg. You have an even better night. How's that sound?
Yeah.
In fact, Amy, speaking of the amazing folks that we had with us in chat tonight, including our gracious opponent for multiple games.
Yes.
Why don't you got some work to do.
Yes. So, Greg, thank you so much for making it here after your long work day.
Agreed.
C. Holland, thank you so much for making it here. I know you almost didn't, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that you ever make it here because of the time difference is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
Any time that you're here, it's such a pleasure.
Yeah,
truly a pleasure for you to take time out of your day to spend with us, especially really to take time out of your night/morning to spend with us.
Your wee hours of the morning.
We really appreciate it.
Collector Invest, thank you for being here. Since you're a new viewer,
yeah, welcome to the stream.
Yeah. Marcus, of course, it goes without saying, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely
and
incredible.
Having those amazing games with us.
Mm-hmm.
Nickel, thank you so much for coming back and seeing us. We really appreciate it.
Nickel is another person who we owe some Brawl games to.
Oh, okay.
Nickel has mentioned that they wanted to challenge us, and I'm totally
time.
down. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do not let me forget ever. But yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Erica, thank you so much for being here tonight. It always means a lot to us. James Turpin, I am not sure if you're a new viewer or if you were new maybe once or you were here maybe once or twice before. But if you are new, thanks so much for being here and being new. And if I forgot when you were here, please remind me. And say, how could you forget me, you brat?
Brat.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of familiar faces and then some new faces tonight as well.
Yes.
Which is exactly how I want it. That's what it should be every week, is familiar faces and new faces coming in, and then as the new faces stick around, they also become familiar faces, and then we get more new ones.
We're not seeing anyone's faces, but we're seeing...
I'm seeing their faces in my mind.
Oh, yes, okay. Yes.
But also, yes, as Amy said, thank you to each and every one of you who just heard their names. But also, if you were watching us tonight and you did not hear your name just mentioned, it's only because we didn't see you in chat.
Yes.
But we still appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you so much for spending any of part of your night or day or whatever with us. If you're watching on the VOD, you're more than welcome, as always, to give yourself a shout out in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
And or give your opinions in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you in that regard also. What do you think of the new set Murders at Karlov Manor? How do the cards look to you? I mentioned how I felt about the power level of blue. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. You're more than welcome to let me know those thoughts or any and all other thoughts that you might have as well. Also, please don't forget, as I said, we'll be back with more of this set next week, or this stream next week, next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We also have another stream on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but we will not be playing Magic the Gathering on Friday. We will be playing God of War Ragnarok. That will be the continuation of our playthrough. So if you missed that, there are links to channels down in the description box below for our other 2 channels in Video Games for All
and Gluten Free for All.
You should definitely check those out. I believe I did not fully mention, though, regarding folks talking in chat. If you pop into chat and say, hey, in the future, you'll get that specific shout out based on your name. But if you're not comfortable doing so, please don't feel pressured. Please accept this blanket thank you for joining us and spending your time however you choose to do so. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
And then as a reminder, while you're here on YouTube, please don't forget on any of our 3 channels that I just mentioned, this one or the other 2, please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so that you will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, including and or whenever we go live here on this channel. And yeah, we will be back, like I said, next time on Friday. But if you're only here for Magic, no worries whatsoever. We'll be back next Monday for more of that. So, anything else I forgot?
I don't think so. Check out our recent videos.
Yeah, we have a lot of really cool ones on this channel, especially around pre-release. We opened over $2,000 worth of product. 2 cases worth of Murders at Karlov Manor. That video is doing very well, and I encourage you to check that out. But we also had a video where I opened 4 pre-release kits. If you want a smaller length video that is not 3+ hours long, you can check that out. And then I did a little walk around the store while people were playing at pre-release and checked out some of the cool cards they were opening. And that video is less than 5 minutes long. So it depends on, we've got a wide range of times of videos for you, for you to check out.
If you're wondering what store he's talking about Greg's store.
That's right. That is Champion Card Collector in Poughkeepsie, New York. All of those videos talk about them as well, and those videos have their link to their website in the video description, so go check that out, and you can go check the store out as well. They are fantastic individuals. I was there all weekend for the pre-release, and it was an absolute blast, so if you are around for pre-releases in the future, I will almost certainly be there. It is not a guarantee, but it's very likely. So, hopefully we will see you very soon in our comments, in our chat, whatever the case may be. But between now and the next time that we see you, whenever that happens to be, please continue to stay safe and happy and healthy. That is to you and yours super important. And for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe.
And I'm Mimi.
And as we always say, in whichever video or stream of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.